Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to Bourbon Neophyte. Glad to make, or make, sorry, glad to see everybody here. It's been a little busy just before the stream. The camera just didn't want to work, and while I was trying to see what was going on, I had one eye up there and was like, is it working? Is it working? And then I was like, okay, good, good, good. I have no idea. Was watching Brian, I was doing my stuff. Everything was fine. Everything was on. And then, the joys of live streaming. You just don't know. And it just decided to do what it wants to do. And it did it a couple of minutes before, but saved by the bell. It reloaded and we are good. Well, it's great to have you all here. I've got a little bit of a show today. That's for darn sure. Um, Funny thing though is I was on a Zoom meetup this week, prearranged with a group of people who were interested or wanted to talk uh, about whiskey. So long and short of that is well, lo and behold, they know me. So that being said, they asked me to come on and talk to them about whiskey, answer some questions, just really basics. I wasn't sure what they wanted to know or didn't want to know or how much they knew or, didn't know. But it's like anybody, I just assumed that they were fresh, as in just getting into it, either a few months, a year, or whatever. But it was a great discussion. But one thing that seems to come up often, I'm not saying like almost daily, but it is an often asked question when I'm in particular groups. And it happened twice to me this week when I was just sitting and chatting and doing what we're doing right now. They ask about my whiskey glass and why I use the particular glasses I use. And so, which then leads to the question, well, what are you using? What are you drinking your whiskey out of? And almost all of them are using the standard rocks glass, which is absolutely nothing wrong with it. It just depends on what you're going to use it for, is what I told them in your intentions. So that also being said, I said to them, it's your whiskey. You purchased it. You drink it out of whatever it is you want, however you want to drink your whiskey. And if that's what you like, that's what you drink. That's the way you drink your whiskey. There is no steadfast, you can't use this or you can't use that. So now, with all that being said, it led to the topic of these glasses again, because they see the Glen I'm holding. And of course, that sparks questions. So as I regale them with my limited knowledge and understanding of whiskey glasses, and I reminded them I am no expert. I am no connoisseur of whiskey. I'm more of a connoisseur, like just about everybody else here. I said, but I've gleaned a tad bit of knowledge from people and through just normal trial and error, like we all have done. I said, I've kind of figured out what works best for me, what I expect out of the glass or how the glass to perform. And I know I told them, I says, it sounds kind of weird, but there is a bit of science and technology involved in the reason why these glasses are made the way they look and are shaped. And so, which led me to go down that road of whiskey glasses. And so some of you know, some of you don't know, I was ill this week from Monday until really yesterday with a just raging sinus or a head cold, whatever. But doing way better now. I wasn't even sure if I was going to stream today on Wednesday and Thursday, but Hey, much better now. And I'm not going to say I didn't have a few hot toddies over the week because, man, that stuff works wonders. Absolutely wonders. But while I have everybody here, let me just pop in just to say cheers to Marty. I know he was around here earlier, and when just before everyone else got here, and I know he's lurking in the background. Donner Pass, cheers, brother. Thank you for popping in here. Slapshot, I was talking about you today because I know your favorite time of year is about that close. What do you got? 7 days, 10 days until it's hockey time? Seems like it just ended last month. I swear. Bourbon, yes, yes, yes. I know you are cruising and grooving, brother, but always appreciate you popping in here to say hi. Josh, cheers, man. Good evening. Nice to see you. Eric, man, I tell you what, I'm lining up those samples you dropped off. And if it wasn't for this cold this week, I probably would have cracked a couple of them this week for sure because they've just been calling my name. Oh, cheers, man. Oh, where am I? Hello, is this the class on making ice? Yes, exactly. We're going to get to that too because I really went down this wormhole of YouTube and just Googling things, John, because I just wasn't feeling good. And so when I got home from work, I pretty much showered and sat in a chair and just started doing some research. But anyway, John, cheers, brother. Z-Man, yes, sirree. I knew you would be here. Hey, Dave, cheers, man. Great to see you. Appreciate you popping in here. Hey, Scotty, cheers, man. Thank you for coming in. And Tater, Dom, hey, Tater, just so you know, right here, brother, it is still here, and I will put it to use. Thank you again. That is one of the most unique gifts I think I have received. So I'm so glad that Vic remembered to bring it. So really nice, honestly. And if you guys didn't see this, I'll demonstrate it here in a minute. Let me get a little closer. Yes, it has my name on it. However, Tater Dom got me this, and it hooks right onto your Glen. Now, not necessarily do you have to hold it like this, but if you are in a group of people and you want to make sure your Glen sticks out, well, there you go. Ta-da. I just thought it was unique and nice. However, let me just say that, if you don't have your top dog Glen caps here, I mean, I don't know. I mean, these things right here make an excellent, excellent pair. Let me tell you. I mean, that is almost the thing. I don't think the bourbon engineer could do something like this. That's for sure. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Honestly, I do. Holy smokes. Look who woke up from his nap. Cheers, Greg. Really appreciate you popping in here. I know it's busy at the home and there's a lot of things going on. You're just about ready to pass out your nighttime meds and tuck you in and, play a little Lawrence Welk for you all. Hey, Paul. Cheers, man. Appreciate you popping in here. And again, thanks to everybody for coming tonight and visiting with us and chatting. Don't forget to smash that like button. And also, I'm sure you have heard, or if you haven't, I'll tell you, there is no live wire. You're going to be stuck with me for a little bit here tonight. It's just the way it's going to have to roll. So sorry, but let's get down to the brass tacks of this. Some of you may have seen the poll that I had put up asking if you use a specific whiskey glass. Now, pretty much 3/4 of you right now have said, yes, you do. The other half said no. And you know what? There is no right, there is no wrong answer on that. You use what you like to use. That's the bottom line. Okay. And I've said that before. I may chuckle because you're using your solo cup, But if that's what you like, that's what you like. Period. End of statement. I always tease John's wife because she puts these big rocks, round things in her drink. And I go, what is that floating in the middle of that good whiskey all the time? But as you all know, it's ice. However, we're going to discuss that a bit tonight. Temperature in whiskey. But first thing is, like I said, is me, and you all know, I pretty much use a Glencairn when I tasting whiskey, whether it's Irish, whether it's bourbon, whether it's Scotch, whether it's an American malt, it doesn't make a difference. This is pretty much what it was designed for. So when I got into the spiel a little bit with the Zoom people, I had to explain to them why these are shaped like they are and what the purpose is of it, besides letting you know pretty much about how much you have in a glass. And so tonight, I'm pouring one of my favorite basics tonight. I don't know what you guys are going to pour, but I'm using this also as my control whiskey for the night right now because it's at least 100 proof and it actually has some damn good flavor to it. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and be sipping on this the majority of the night. And I'm going to pour myself just a little shot of this here. And cheers to everybody. Such an overlooked whiskey. I mean, truly such an overlooked whiskey. But that being said, glasses for us that use them, particularly, I'm just going to point to the Glen right now because that's what I've got in my hand. And like I said, it's primarily my go-to glass only until recently because I've decided to really make an effort to see if this glass really makes a difference when it comes to me doing my whiskey tasting. So as you've heard me talk about this is one made by a company called Neat. They tout it as a professional whiskey taster's glass, and particularly the design is made to help disperse the ethanol sometimes we get off the whiskey when we nose it, but yet hold the smells from the whiskey. So when we bring it up to our nose, the way this bowl on this particular glass is shaped, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see how it is, how it's shaped really brings it up and blooms. And that's my breakdown of it, everybody. It's my breakdown of it. So I use just a couple of glasses on there, but of course I showed that and that led into a whole nother discussion. But that being said, I primarily, when I'm talking to you all like this, I'm pouring something in a Glen and I'm either sitting and listening or I'm doing the talking. And I just like this. I think it does well for nosing, so on and so forth. But anyhow, you do what you want to do, but I'm going to go into some stuff here, and you guys may have a little more information on it and can help me through some of this. But as I dived into these glasses, and then I really started looking at some of the things about adding ice to whiskey, it got me thinking about some other things. The Tula glasses, you know what? I don't have one of those. However, I do hear a lot of things about the Tula glasses. Tutha. I always say Tula, and I know it's not, but that's on me. But those glasses, I don't have one, so I cannot honestly say yay or nay on it. But if it's anything like the Glen, I think the Glen works fine for Irish. So I am sure, Eric, one of those would do wonderful too. Hey, the Packer House. Cheers, sir. Thanks for popping on here and saying hello. And don't forget to smash that like button while you're here. But anyway, so I've got a little Evan Williams here in the glass. And like I said, I believe to a point the glass does shape your experience when it comes to drinking whiskey. So I do have a few different glasses, but the style and shape are similar, with the exception of that neat glass. The other one that you might see me holding from time to time looks like a Glen on the top, but it has this stem. And so a lot of times I don't want to warm my whiskey, even though you can achieve that by holding this further down on the Glen. It feels awkward to me. So I will use this glass. And this is the Glenlivet, by the way, the Glenlivet. But I will use this glass when I do not want to transfer any heat from the glass as I am holding it. So I will hold it from the stem. And I have a few more non-descriptive ones. It doesn't have Glenlivet or anything on it, but they're just plain. But like this. And I know you've all seen the longer stemmed one that I have that I use for different whiskeys. Again, when I don't want to transfer heat. However, which leads me to temperature on whiskey. And what I was saying is that temperature plays a role in your whiskey. And I think some of you know, you may not know, but temperature of whiskey really can affect the flavor. And so I've always joked and said there's a reason why Coors Light puts these pictures of mountains on there, and they tell you when they're perfectly blue that it's the right time to drink it. Well, basically, they're telling you to chill that down to just before freezing, pop that top, and drink it down. Because if you drank it at a temperature higher than, let's just say, 34 or 35 degrees, you would taste really how nasty that stuff is, and you wouldn't like it. So cold does muddle the taste of a beer, or in this case, we're talking about a spirit like this. So that is one way cold in general will affect alcohol or whiskey, beer, whatever you want to say about it. That used Glen for years, but switched. Could make the light glass a while ago. Used to be called, port tasting glasses. Okay. Well, you know what? That's good to know, Donner Pass, because, you don't want to get into things that are very expensive. However, you mentioned port. I brought a little glass that I use for brandy or cognac because you want to be able to hold that. And you do want a little warmth on that cognac or that brandy, because that really entices enhances the flavor of the spirit that's in your glass. So yes, they do and can serve a specific purpose for a specific liquid that you put in there. So again, understood all that. I mean, it really does and can make a difference. So did some research, and your room temperature is what they suggest you serve your whiskey at. So I don't know. That's very subjective. My room temperature, your room temperature, the neighbor's room temperature is different. However, it's between 60 and 65 degrees seems to be the consensus for where you should be serving your whiskey. Now, I can tell you, my whiskey certainly isn't 65 degrees, and I will tell you what it is for sure here in just a moment, as soon as I fire this turkey up, because that kind of got me thinking, And what I say about that is because, oh, come on, here we go. Now, it says it's 78. I know it's not actually 78 in here, but what is the whiskey? Let's look here. Let's see what it says the whiskey is. So 78, 77. So in my glass, it says it's 78. Certainly doesn't drink like 78, but that's what it says. You're between 68 and 70. Well, that's what happens when you're in Tennessee. Okay. 77 in the glass. What is the actual temperature of what's in this bottle? Let's see. Because this one has just been sitting here. The glass was in my hand. It was doing a few other things. So let's see what it says this whiskey is. Whoops. I don't want that to touch. Okay. The temperature of the whiskey in the bottle, and it's not touching the glass or anything like that, and I'm making sure of, is 64.8. So 65, from my understanding, from everything I looked at, from like Flaviar and a few other, I call them important sites or reputable sites, say 60 to 65 is how you want to serve it. So that being said, that's why I'm making this my control whiskey, is that we are there with that temperature. But in here, because I've been holding it, the whiskey temperature has risen. Let me just see, since I haven't been holding it, if it makes a difference here. Okay. Nope, still the same, about 77 in here. Okay, that's fine. It's all good. All right, so temperature does make a difference. Of course, it's falling like a rock because there's a breeze from the fan. As I say, why is that thing dropping? But anyway, so temperature affects your whiskey. It's going to affect the taste of it. And, you get your normal brown sugar, you get your normal caramel, you get some cinnamon on this Evan Williams, and it's what I expect out of this bottle. But what the taste you get, like for me, that's why I don't like ice in my whiskey, is because it really, to me, muddles the flavor, as in hides it. And then the ice dilutes the whiskey and really changes it. So not only are you changing it by adding the water, you're changing the way the whiskey tastes by chilling it down below 65 degrees. So you may be chilling that whiskey down to 50, 52 degrees with some ice in there, just depending upon what you get. And in what I found earlier today, it's very hard to get a true reading with ice in a glass, because when you stick your probe down in there, how do you avoid the ice unless you took the ice out? So, of course, I let it go for about 10 minutes in a glass that I did measure out the whiskey within a shot glass, and it got down into the 50s with ice in there. And the nosing on it, the same bourbon, the nose was not the same. It was almost a moot point to nose it, because the flavor or the odors, the aromas that you get from the whiskey just wasn't there when you added the ice. The ice just didn't cut it. And like I said, I don't have anything against it. It's just that when you nosed it, it just wasn't what it was supposed to be, compared to the way you drink it when we're drinking it out of this glass. So I never really paid attention to that before. I just knew that it just wasn't something that I did, particularly to load a glass with ice. Now, oh my goodness, I just caught this right here. Let me pop this up. 4-leaf. Cheers, girl. I sure hope you're enjoying everything over there in Belfast. Great for you to pop in and say hello. I'm looking forward and I'm watching the posts as they pop up. When you got off the bus or you were on the bus, your first stop. So don't think we're not paying attention to what you're doing. We are living vicariously through you and your journey. So really appreciate you coming in here and saying hello. Really do. Thank you very much. And please keep it all coming. We want to hear. So the other thing is, what if we warm up whiskey? Does it enhance the flavor? When I say warm up, what if it's 80, 90, 95 degrees? Let's just say body temperature, 98. Does that have an effect on the whiskey? Does it make a difference? Is it better? Is it nasty? I'm not completely sure. However, believe it or not, we're going to continue this little experiment because I'm putting some whiskey in here. And guess what I'm going to do? Some warm water, hot water, whatever you want to call it. And let's bring up the temperature of a Glen of whiskey. Let me just see what in the heck we got here. All right, the water inside of this thermos is sitting at 132 degrees Fahrenheit. So I poured this in here just before the stream. I'm going to place this in there, and I'm going to allow this to warm the whiskey. So I think if we said we were at 77 on the whiskey temperature. Let's see. Before I pour it in here, 78. Okay. 78 is what it says. Close enough for this. This is not scientific. That's for sure. But I'm going to put some of this warmer water in here, and I'm just going to allow it to bring the temperature of the whiskey up. There we go. That's perfect. Just enough that it comes up to the bottom of that bowl. And let's just leave that go in there for a few and see what happens. So it's not like I'm going to sit here and put it in an oven and get it up to a particular temperature and, and find out. Hey, cheers, Tom. Great that you got some rain. We got teased on Friday. We had rumbles of thunder. We had lightning, dark clouds. If you were behind me into the west there in Summerlin, they actually got some rain. I don't know how much, but you're talking 5 miles from me, maybe 6. You're in Summerlin. I got nothing but wind, lightning, and every now and then the occasional thunder. That's it. Yes, sir. Yes, I did. But as long as you clean it off, it's perfectly fine. You should know that. It's perfectly fine. And the best way to get to the right temperature is you got to get to the bottom of it. So there you go. So cheers, Greg. But anyhow, so this temperature thing is really a big deal. And I'm not going to say I was intrigued by it, but I just didn't think about it because my whiskey is room temperature. So my house right now is probably really truthfully in the 70s in here with the lights on. I've been in here for a minute. So it could be true. I'm looking. Well, you know what? It is 78 in here. I just looked up at my atomic clock and has a thermostat on her. So, okay, damn it. That digital thermometer is right. So, all right. So the whiskey is right. I'm going to say, I can't believe that's 78 in here because I know where the thermostat's set. But neither here nor there. It makes a difference. And like I said, I once I started going down this wormhole and I looked at the people who had ice that I know of, and I was playing around with the ice in a drink and trying to figure out how to get a good temperature without being corrupted by the ice. So, which there was no real good way of doing it. That's why I just didn't really break it down like that here and now, because one, it's messy. But the ice, when you put it in there, really, there's no nosing on it. There just wasn't any nosing on there. Those notes just were non-existent. I mean, you got a little something. I mean, you knew something was in there, but pretty much that was it. And then depending upon whether you used a ball, and I used a couple of balls of ice, I used just regular ice from your tray. You break it and throw it into a glass. I broke up some ice, that just really watered the whiskey down a lot quicker. So when you get you go to a bar and they grab you a glass and you get a scotch or something like that, and they scoop the ice in there and it's crushed, and they pour the whiskey over it and slide it down. I mean, if you like it, you'll like it. I would have slid that thing back down the bar and I said, you got to be kidding. One, don't put ice in my drink, because I would have told you neat anyway, but I wouldn't have wanted crushed ice. But it really affected the flavor. It really affected the nosing. It just wasn't, to me, it just wasn't a pleasant thing. Well, you know what, Top Dog? I didn't either. I didn't really think of temperature myself until, again, I saw something. And when I was talking to this group, it made me go there, and I got onto the topic of me not putting ice in my drink. And so after we finished the Zoom call, what do? I start Googling things and looking up different stuff, and bingo, there was information. And all of a sudden you go from hot to cold to basically room temperature, so on and so forth. And let me just say this, it made me think about the temperature of my whiskey a little more in depth. And because I really want it to be flavorful, I want to get that full experience. So having your whiskey at the correct temperature for the experience, I found out, is pretty important. So, which led me down this road. And that's why I said, do you like your whiskey neat? Do you want it on the rocks? Do you use stones in it? And that's a whole nother category in itself, are whiskey stones. Whether you use like the soapstone, I call it the real stone, or do you use the metal whiskey stones that you put in there? So I have the regular stone ones. And let me say this, they don't dilute it, but they will drop that temperature, in which I put a couple in a glass. They will drop that temperature down nicely into the 60s from your 70s. So with just about 3 of them in there, it brought that whiskey down. And I just didn't bring the stones, because I went through this earlier today, and then to save time, is the stones really made a difference in the whiskey and bringing that temperature into the mid 60s, but it didn't water it down. So hence, if you like your whiskey a little on the cooler side, hence you put ice in your whiskey, I'm going to tell you right now, go ahead and get yourself a nice set of whiskey stones. You can get the metal ones, but the metal ones will chill it down further than probably your desired temperature you want it to be at. So like I said, between that 60 and 65 degree range is supposedly where you want to consume and enjoy your whiskey at that temperature. But the metal stones and everything that I talked about, they actually they work well, but they work too good to bring that temperature of the whiskey down in your glass far below the recommended enjoyment temperature. So, yeah, I mean, you guys didn't think you can get a little bit of an education on here. Now, I still have that going on there, and I can see a little bit of humidity coming up on the glass. Let me see where this thing has gotten up to. Put this in here. Oh, this whiskey is up to 100 degrees. I hope you all heard me. 100 degrees. So it's 100.8. And I think from 78 to 100.8, I think a little over 20 degrees delta. I'm good. So I'm going to pull this thing out of here right now. And you all know which one it is. It's the Evan Williams. I did not do this part of it earlier today. I just wanted, because I could demonstrate that right here in front of you. Now you all can, I'm sure you can see, it's warmer. So kind of like a hot toddy, but without the tea or coffee or whatever else you use in yours. But let's see what the nose is like. Everybody knows what Evan Williams is and how it is. So, oh wow, almost like a stewed prune plum note. Definitely sweet. Cinnamon, baking spice, like a warm. It's striking a nerve. You get it around the holidays. It's a warm, no clove, thank God. But oh my goodness, it smells so inviting. Graham cracker. Warm caramel. Wow, that's pretty nice. Now, like I said, this is 100 degrees. 100 degrees from sitting in that water. The temperature in the thermos was 134 or 135. I don't recall off the top of my head. But wow, the nose is the room temperature. See, it's like a syrup, warm, sweet. Let's see here. Let's see here. Wow. That's not too darn bad, actually. I never would have thought of drinking my whiskey like this, but I tell you what, maybe on a cold day, you get a little tap water running and put it in a bowl and set the whiskey down in there. You might have something here, people. Holy smokes. This is different. It's still Evan Williams profile. Still sweet, caramel, sugar, cinnamon. It's warmed up. And I seem to get more notes, as in stronger, thicker, sweeter on the nose with adding that little bit of heat to it. Wow. No real ethanol on the nose at all. Maybe just so slight. Holy smokes, that's very unusual. very soothing. Wow. You know, we might have the next cold remedy. Add a little lemon and honey to this at this temperature. How long might be get it up to maybe 140? I don't know. Might be a better version of a hot toddy. It's not as unpleasant as I was envisioning this would be after you warm up whiskey to, 100 degrees like this. Wow. That is odd. It has a nice like a rye spice to it, the way rye grabs your tongue. The finish isn't, how to say this, the finish is just what you would expect from it. It's not long. It doesn't linger forever. But that spiciness, that pepper, I'm trying to see, is that on the retrohale, was that a little like a caramel note or something? I'm trying to put on there. Sorry, I'm thinking as I'm trying to explain this to you all. It's interesting. Well, I cannot argue with you there, because I always said I'm not a fan of cold whiskey. I'm not. I don't add ice to it. I will add whiskey stones to cool it down. So if I thought the whiskey at room temperature, let's say it's 78 degrees, whatever this is, if I thought it was too warm, I'd go and get 1 or 2 stones and I would drop them in there. Generally, I start with 1, wait 5 minutes, and then sip it. And if it seems right, then I'm good. If not, I'll take that other one and drop it in there and wait 5 more minutes and sip on that. And I like the stones. I use the regular whiskey stones. I have about 6 of them. And they're simple to clean. When you're done, you just run them under some water, set them on the counter to dry, and the next day, put them back in the little canvas pouch they come in and close them up. They're good to go. They don't go bad. Use them forever. But I'm telling you, this really, people, is different. You might want to try this. And I would actually recommend this when the temperatures in the evening get a little on the cool side and you're sitting outside. Get a thermos, fill it up with some warm tap water, just right out of the tap. Take it outside with you, pour yourself, an ounce or 2, put it in your glass, have yourself a container like I did. Just set it in there for 5 or 10 minutes and bring that temperature up as you're sitting outside one evening and sipping on some whiskey. That might be the thing. I hate to say it. Exactly. I don't think I would do this on a regular basis. I don't think I would have done this at all with whiskey. Now, have I poured it into coffee? Yes. Have I poured it into tea, added honey, and a squeeze of lemon and made myself a hot toddy when I had a cold? Oh, I love it. Especially a good cinnamon tea, with a good cinnamon flavor, not that artificial crap. Get yourself a good organic tea with good cinnamon stick and stuff in there, and you let that steep. Wow. And let me just say this. You get one of those Smoke Wagon private barrel picks right there at 60 ABV, and you put about 2 fingers in your glass, add your water, your tea bag, a good dollop of honey, squeeze a little lemon in there, and oh my goodness. That's what I was drinking this week. Whoo-wee. That cures your throat and your cough and really does help you sleep, depending on if you have at least 2. But yeah, really good. That was a really good hot toddy I had. But that's kind of what it reminded me of, almost, the flavor on this. So what I was looking at was because of the Zoom meeting, John, and I was talking to them about whiskey glasses, and I noticed somebody had ice, and I said, I don't like my whiskey cold, period, especially with all of that ice. And then that's when I prefaced it with, but it's your whiskey, and you drink it exactly how you want to drink it, with whatever it is you want to put in it, and it's absolutely right. Because I didn't want them to think that, I was shitting on them or anything like that, because I wasn't. You drink your whiskey how you want it, whatever way you want it. And if that's the way you like it, that's fine. Then you drink it, period. But that's what got me down this wormhole and started looking at different articles and things that popped up that made a reference to the temperature of the whiskey. Hot, cold being ice, cold being whiskey stones, room temperature, the ideal whiskey drinking temperature. And that applies, that 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And what is it, 15 to 20 degrees Celsius? My Celsius conversion could be off, but it's right in there. But if you're drinking Irish, Japanese, Scotch, bourbon, it's the same. It's pretty much the same as far as temperature goes. Now, I will say the one slight little variation I saw was sake. And sake sometimes is served a lot warmer than this. So there are some whiskeys meant to be a lot warmer, or well, sake is really not a whiskey. I don't think, because it can be sorghum, it could be rice, and a few other things that sake could be made out of. But anyway, I don't think we can call it whiskey. But I've never delved into that world, so don't quote me, everybody. Don't do it. Oh, you're welcome, T-Rob. Appreciate you popping in here just to say hello and join us all. Let me just look where we are. So I'm going to end the poll. I've had it on there for an hour and a half, but 83% of the people do use a particular type of glass when they drink their whiskey, which isn't unusual. And I was going to ask if you use a Glen, but not everybody uses a Glen. But they do have a particular glass they have an affection for that they will use as far as when they drink whiskey, which I already had suspected that they would. Absolutely correct, Honor Pass. Absolutely correct. You were going to lead me into that. So when people are new to whiskey and are experiencing it and they say, oh yeah, I like it, one of the first things they always do is they load it with ice. One, ice gets rid of that ethanol and basically takes away, let's just say, the burn. Okay, it rounds it out, but it's diluting that whiskey. And most of the whiskey that they'll get, they'll put Jack on ice, Jim Beam on ice, Basil Hayden on ice, and I'm sorry, but they're that 40 proofers. Okay, what are you trying to cool down? It's already this. It's already this. A little more water, you're down at 30%, and you're tasting the rind. The stuff that you don't want to taste that's in that barrel. So, and you're adding ice to it. Ugh. However, drink your whiskey how you want to drink it. It's just not, it's just not me. Well, there are people that are more purists, Tom, that yes, they're gonna drink from a particularly a crystal glass. They want a certain experience. They believe that it's important to drink from a particularly how can I say that, particular material when they drink. I'll get that out. Particular material when they drink out of a glass. So when you said crystal, they want purity. They want that whiskey majority of the time neat, and they want that full whiskey tasting, that whiskey sipping, that whiskey experience. I'm sorry, one of these are good for $5. For me, I know it's not crystal, but you know, it could say Anchor Hawking on the bottom of it for all I care. It holds whiskey, it's good. So when I said, hey, if you drink it out of a Solo cup, you're fine. If that's what you want to drink yours out of, you go ahead. I was always calling it a Dixie cup, but Solo's like a plastic cup versus a Dixie cup's a paper cup. Hey, you drink it out of whatever you want to drink it out of. If you like it, you like it. Well, yeah, but she mostly uses Knob Creek, if I'm not mistaken, John, right? When she makes those. And that's the other point I want to make. The higher proof holds up to a little ice. So that's why I said I'm using, this whiskey here at 100 proof, because I want something to hold up. And so when I was doing the stuff earlier today, and I was tasting it and so on and so forth, I certainly didn't want to use Basil Hayden's, although I was thinking I probably should use that swill instead. But I'm like, it's just not going to hold up. There's nothing there. It has nothing to stand on. So I said, I was drinking this yesterday. I was sipping on it. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I might as well use this. It's good whiskey. So, that being said, that's what started this whole thing, because, I was pretty much staying in the house and just taking care of myself and fixing the throat with a little old-fashioned remedy there. Yeah, but it's not good crystal, yeah, it's not. Yeah, I know you got what I mean. It's just not that real good. There's a name for the crystal, and I know you said it, but anyway, yeah, it's a big difference. And we talked about that too, Eric. And as a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to say is, so I always keep a gallon of distilled water in here, because I fill up this glass. It's a shot glass and has different measurements on there, but I actually do have an eyedropper. So when I literally say I put drops of water in there, people, and you've seen me with my little pink or purple straw, putting a drop of water or two in there, but I'm very particular about that. So I will take my distilled water out, and I will count the drops into the glass, because yes, I do believe now that adding water to a higher ABV whiskey, just to see if it opens up a little bit more, if it changes the complexity, does it make it deeper? Does it cause other flavors to fall back, and not be so pronounced in it? I am a proponent of it. I don't have a problem with it. Before, it was sacrilege to me. But once you do it and understand how water can actually help, and I'm talking, the drops of water, it does make a difference. But that also being said, if any of you ever listened to Old Man Joe, he is a firm believer that whiskey in general, bourbon, was not really meant to be drank out of a Glen, although he has no problem with it. He believes it was originally meant to drink out of a shot glass like this. And one time he was with us here in Vegas, he had his own basically it was a shot glass. It was a little bigger, uh, at the top, but it held a good 2 ounces, maybe 2.5 to 3 tops. I'm going to say 2.5 ounces of whiskey. And he would drink his whiskey because I had what was that the day I brought was it the GTS? It was a whiskey meet up here in Vegas. But anyway, I'm trying to remember which bottle I had. Anyway, I don't remember now. Holy smokes. But he was drinking from his shot glass. So, hey, it's okay. You drink it how you want to drink it. And if you like it, that is fine with me. I didn't either until recently. Now I probably have 12 of them because I get into do different tastings, whatever, and I use it all the time. Oh, yeah, the single barrel. Okay, that's right. You did tell me. You did tell me that. Yes. Hell yeah, Jack Daniel's single barrel. Oh, yeah. Well, Dragon Bones. Oh, yeah. That's really good stuff. Yeah. T-Rob, I'm a proponent of it. Yes. That could be one of them, T-Rob, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, neat is the way to go. I am a proponent of it. Well, yes. And that's when the conversation came up about the Dixie cup because Long Branch is already shit whiskey. That cup could only enhance the flavor. So a Dixie cup, the paper ones that you used to keep in the bathroom in the little dispenser you pull out. Oh, that's right. The ones you got at the home right now when you go up to take your pills, they give you that in the Dixie cup and then you throw it in your mouth. They pour the water in there and you chase it down. Yeah, you think you're drinking whiskey? At your age, that's what they tell you. But yes, the Dixie cup is preferred for Long Branch because nothing's going to get that taste out of your Glencairn. Nothing. That I can guarantee you. Nothing will get that taste out of there. But in a nutshell, I mean, it was a lot of information from left to right, to up to down. It was just, to me, it got intriguing. It got fascinating because it's something that we just really don't get into is temperature. We talk about different whiskeys, good, bad, indifferent, different flavors, the proofs, adding water or whatever, but we really don't get into the temperature of the whiskey that we drink and where it should be to give you that best experience from that whiskey. And I never really thought about it until this Friday. I said, what was that damn Zoom call I had Friday? And hey, I'm just saying, it's one of those things that was bound to come out, and we had to talk about it and had to bring it out, and just, really, I just think I think it was just something that was what needed to be said. Needed to be said. But anyway, it's, I don't know what you all think or how you, if you agree, but you continue to drink how you want to drink your whiskey. Oh yeah, that's his personal preference. Yeah, they're not using these at all, but he just feels that way. And so, like I said, if that's how you want to drink your whiskey, you do it. Without a doubt, you do it. Uh-oh, look who's here, Top Dog. Well, you know what, Bourbon Engineer? Some people have no taste, and I'm sure you can understand that. I'm sure. But I'm sure your friend has other whiskey that he knows has got to be better than that pig swill. I don't think he would steadily even drink it and show it. I mean, honestly, he may have cases of it. He may be a closet Long Branch drinker, but I don't really think he comes out in public and pours, 2 fingers in a Glen and sips it. I just can't believe anybody in their right mind would, other than what's his name? Matt McConaughey. All right. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Find out, John. Let's talk about that, because you want to also store your whiskey at a decent temperature, and I think the proper temperature to store whiskey is in the mid-50s. Now, I didn't look if they're talking about the barrels or the bottles like we have. So I don't know. I think if you kept it in the area in the 60s, it would be fine. Well, of course I am. Why would you say that I wouldn't be? I mean, unless you're referring to the bourbon engineer and he's talking about you, I can't believe you would do such a thing. Oh, well, I'm told she gives him a bottle or two a year. I mean, come on. Anytime somebody brings up that darn bottle, yes, it brings everybody out of the woodwork. I'm surprised. What's his name? Matt doesn't show up. McConaughey. Now that is a worthwhile thing for it, because what's in there, I swear, had to come from a chamber pot. Had to. Yeah, and it is what it is. I'm not taking sides. Did I or did I not display this perfect Glen cover? Did I or did I not? I did. And who made that? I think it says, Top Dog on there. I have nothing from the bourbon engineer. Nothing. Oh, and look at this. Where would I get fancy Glen toppers like this? It certainly wasn't from bourbon engineer. I never got these fancy toppers from him. Never. Look at that. Watch this. Let me show you how this goes. Boom. That's perfect. Wait a minute. I never got like challenge coins or anything like that. I never got coasters or anything like that from bourbon engineer. As far as I know, he orders them from, One Hung Low there in China and gets his stuff made. I don't know. I don't know the quality of the merchandise that he has. I mean, look at this stuff that I get from, Top Dog. I mean, come on. This is quality stuff. If I drill a hole through it, I can hang it from the Christmas tree. I mean, really. Oh, and speaking of that, there's the ornament right there that will go on the tree. Nothing says or that I have is from the bourbon engineer. So, for you to say that is kind of hurtful, John. It's kind of hurtful. I mean, there's nothing I have here. Oh, wait a minute. Let me keep going here. So how could you say that? Where did this come from? Oh, this came from Top Dog. Uh-huh. I knew, I knew, I knew you would realize. See, do not believe the competition. That's your problem. There's nothing that I have that comes from the engineer. Nothing. And you know what? If is Bourbon Baller still around, I'm sure he'll tell you. I can't believe that stuff sells, but it sells. I mean, I can't believe how that stuff goes. I hear people talk about it all the time. Me, I'm like, don't even think of putting that crap uh, around me. Don't think. Well, at this time of night for you in the home, they turn the lights out. It's like 9 o'clock. You should be in bed. I'm surprised they haven't come in there and yelled at you and strapped you down by now, Greg. Oh, now come on, Bourbon Engineer. Nothing I have is from you, and I have to be honest. And wait a minute, I've got to call it out here again. I mean, look at this. I mean, if this is not a Top Dog stream, I don't know what is. But I mean, I use this religiously. It's right here. My Glens are on there. When I do my blind flights or I'm doing a flight, that is right here. It's all Top Dog. Oh, wow. Look at this. Now that's competition right there, Eric. That's competition right there. Well, I am sure you have never partook in that festivity, Donald. I would lay money on it. Oh, you made it on his machine. Well, I appreciate that. I am sure he wants to try to outdo you. You know, I probably shouldn't have displayed everything like that, John. I'm sorry. Oh, well, that's the equivalent of getting a sack of coal from Santa. Oh, wait a minute. And you know what else is here? The notebook is here too. The notebook is here. I actually just had it in my hand because I was doing something with it and I set it down. But the notebook is here, so I didn't forget, John. It's here too. Oh, well, it could be a union break. Me either, and I'm going to keep it that way. Never had it. There you go. There you go, people. I haven't really sat here and sipped on Evan Williams in a long time. And I don't know why I haven't been. Had several independent liquor store owners tell me that they have to buy. Yeah, that is true. Yep, that is true. They kind of they roll that crap out and make them buy that stuff to get it. Oh no, that's true. It happens here. I have good relationships with some of our bottle shops, and in order to get some good stuff, they have to buy that crap. Hey, Bourbon School. Cheers, man. Really appreciate you being here. Holy smokes. Cheers, sir. What's up, man? Prescription Bourbon. Nice to see you. Really great to have you here. Appreciate Bourbon School and Prescription Bourbon coming here to say hello and smash that like button and just chat with everybody. Great. It really is great to see you guys. Tomorrow night, I should be having a couple of drinks with Australians. Yes. As a matter of fact, no, I don't have the sample he gave me of the, I think it was a whiskey club exclusive down there in Australia. The, was it a Brooklotti? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot, but he'll know. Ask him about it, Donald. I still have it. And I'm telling you what, it's not peat. It's not peated, but it's like a campfire. It truly is. Oh, it's like the High West campfire. So those of you that know High West and that particular whiskey, this Scotch that they brought me from Australia, is not peated, but it's smoked. So the malt was smoked before, and oh my goodness, it really was like a campfire, and it wasn't off-putting by no means. It wasn't like what is that, tire fire or whatever the heck that crap is. But oh yeah, it's absolutely blackmail. But what I hate to say, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because if you don't buy it, you don't get the stuff. And that's the bad thing about it. Oh, okay. So that's where they're going. They're going to be up in Buffalo. Okay. Because I met up with them here at a liquor shop a couple of Saturdays ago. And then a week ago from this Wednesday that just passed, I met up with them at Mr. Whiskey Shit's house, a.k.a. Adam from the other part of Livewire Whiskey, because he's now down here in Vegas. So I drove to the other side of town and met up with them for a couple of hours because they were flying out Thursday morning the next day from Vegas and going to Portland. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. Where in the heck were they going? They were going to Portland. So, but it is great seeing them. Holy smokes. About time you get here. The link is up, John. Pop on for a while. T-Rob, I know you can't be too busy. That's darn for sure. Come on for a few. We'll pour some whiskey and have another talk and chat. But well, see, I guess that works then, right? No, I didn't. Did I? There's no way. Oh, crap. How the hell did I do that? That doesn't make sense. All right. How the hell did I delete it? Oh, well. Okay, never mind. I know what I did because delete is right under pin. And so, all right. I was like, I know I saw it there because I went over to the damn thing. Well, you know, I guess when you're not an empire quitter, you get those perks, Donald. But I'm okay with being an empire quitter. A stationary bike in your bourbon room? Holy smokes, T-Rob, you're dedicated. That's for darn sure. Holy smokes, look at that magnificent bastard right there. Cheers, brother. glad to see you. Appreciate you stopping by. And remember, it's not my fault, Mike. Whatever happens, it's not my fault. And you say the man's name, he pops up to say hello and smash the like button. Look who's here, Mr. Whiskey Shits himself. Cheers, man. Great to see you. Hope all is well with you. And hold on to my glass, by the way. I couldn't believe I forgot that up there. I was actually disappointed the next day when it occurred to me that I left that darn thing up there. I really was like, oh, shucks. Because I only have a couple of, when I say a couple, I only have, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4 YouTube channel whiskey glasses. Believe it or not, I only have 4, counting you guys. Yeah, I know. It's hard to believe, but it is true. Oh, yes. I'm not arguing that fact either. I am not arguing that fact. It does have its advantages. There's no doubt. There is no doubt that it has its advantages. But no, I actually do not. I don't have a Top Dog Glen. I don't. I've got the tops for them. I've got the coasters. I've got the Christmas ornament. I've got the bottles, which I honestly don't want to use because I like them so much. But they do have a specific purpose, and they might, at least one of them might get used. You know, to hold my Glens. But no, I don't have one of those. I'm just, oh, I even forgot this. Look at this. A keychain, Top Dog keychain. I mean, come on. Got to be the best tchotchke maker going. I mean, I know the bourbon engineer is trying to get a foothold, but I just can't see it. I just can't see it happening, John. I just can't see it happening. All right, I'll do that. Oh my gosh, I almost committed a terrible faux pas and knocked that sucker off my table. Let me put that back over there. All right. Let me do something with this. All right, get that whiskey out of the way. I tell you what, I said it before and said it again. This is a great value whiskey. This is a great sipper all day long. All day long. Glass from Tater Dom. He gave me a glass? No, he gave me these. Right here. Can you see it, Adam? Oops. Come on, focus. Don't focus on me here. There we go. Yeah, that's what I got from Tater Dom. Ta-da. I mean, hey, look, I felt bad when I saw how Marty kicked you to the curb, I mean, I thought you had a job for life, but just saying. Well, you know what? I might have to, being a Teamster, myself, I understand labor disputes. So, just keep me posted. Keep me posted. Well, he has things and whiskey, Mike. Things and whiskey. See, if you got to get a good contract there, Top Dog. You got to get a good contract. You know, if you're willing to work with me, you know, send me your terms. We can work something out. You know, if he's fired you in the last week, what do you got to lose? Just saying, man. What do you got to lose? Hey, David, cheers, man. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Nice to see you. Thanks for popping by. Really appreciate it. Well, you know, that's what happens. You just got to take that frying pan to one of them kids, whack them once and go, come on, get out there and cut the grass. Hey, that's all part of capitalism. Send him the contract, say, here's the price, and just put on the bottom, union made. There you go. If you need help with that negotiation, let me know. What's up, man?
How you doing,
How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm perfect. Just now I'm into a little bit for Livewire, and I kind of did a little interesting stream and kind of surprised myself on some of the stuff when you start looking into that with the temperature of whiskey.
Yeah.
I mean, I never dived into it or got into it this deep and how temperature really does affect whiskey. I mean, I knew it made a difference. I didn't exactly understand how or why, or, you know, I knew I don't like it cold. And I definitely don't want it hot. So it's, you know, not sitting out in the sun and I've always said, yeah, it's too hot for me to sit on the patio and drink. It warms the whiskey up too much. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And ooh, and you know what? This may be the perfect time to do a sample from Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So since I had this bottle out the other night, this is my first pour of the evening. So Nika Yuichi.
Well, you can twist my arm. I'll do a little Japanese. I don't have that, but you know,
This one's like coastal, kind of lightly peated. It's just phenomenal stuff.
See, mine isn't. This one here, I did a review on it, and I've got a backup because it's hard to find. But this is the Nagahama Roma Japanese whiskey.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. When was I? Oh, not this past weekend. Weekend before, when I was closing up the trailer, I took this up, and then I took up the Still Austin, and I took up the Glenmorangie Tale of Tokyo, and this, and shared them with one of the people up there, and he really enjoyed this. Because he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not fond of Japanese whiskey. You know, he says, I've had that sake. And I go, oh, no, this is not sake. This is not
sake. Is a whiskey.
Yeah, it's not sake. And it is a huge difference than sake, it's for sure. But he really enjoyed it. We had about 5 or 6 pours that night and just sit there and, you know, BS and it was good. Oh my goodness. Cheers, sir. Appreciate you popping in here to say hello. Don't forget, on the way out or whatever, smash that like button so hard John feels it.
Oh,
but this was a good whiskey for $50.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 43 ABV. Very fruity on the palate, on the nose. Malty. With there is a note of pear that's very apparent, no pun intended there, but You really do pick it up. And
Can I ask one question?
Now you can ask 3 or 4 if you want.
I just want to know how you put a StreamYard link up and I beat Z-Man in here.
Who to what?
How did I beat Z-Man in here when you put a link up?
I think he's taking a nap.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was my one question.
But he was in chat.
Congrats on your Steelers being 3-0.
Oh, shit. I know. I have not watched a game yet. I haven't. I just looked today. And, of course, they beat the Chargers, which I just got some bragging rights tomorrow when I walk in, because when I walk into the office, the boss has a big Chargers flag and a VGK flag hanging in and a Bulls flag. So I'm bringing my terrible Talon because I'm there before him, and I'm just going to put it on the wall there. And go, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I saw quite a bit of highlights there because I was watching the Packer game I have an over-the-air for the local Packer broadcast. And then my Roku, I had DirecTV on with the Red Zone channel, so I was kind of going back and forth.
Mm-hmm. So just
Packers
so you know,
2-0 with a backup quarterback too.
Who are you asking me about?
Z-Man.
Uh-huh. So you say it 3 times. You say it 3
Speaking
times.
of the devil, he shows up.
That's right.
Fuck the Chargers. Right. I watch that game. Fuck the Chargers.
Wow. Oh, okay then.
I'm all about that. I have no problem with it.
Oh, that was a good game, man. That was a good fucking game.
I was kind of busy doing just other things, and here they will put the Chargers on, of course, before the Steelers or the Raiders. I don't know why, but so it will preempt anything else I want to watch. So I didn't even bother to look today.
Well, I watched that.
Didn't even bother to look today.
I watched that. I watched Arizona choke, but it was okay. It was okay.
Hey, Packers are 2-0 with a backup quarterback.
That's all that counts. Tell them to keep going in that direction.
Who's their quarterback? Love?
Well, Love's been hurt, so Malik Willis from Tennessee. They went back to Tennessee and blew him out today.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah. They traded for him a month ago from Tennessee. And, he went back to Tennessee and blew him out today.
Hey. That's what happened.
Jordan Love got hurt the last play of that game in Brazil.
No, I know
that. No, I haven't watched. Well, I watched a preseason game with Pittsburgh, and of course they won. And I forget who it was, but that's the only bit of football I actually watched.
Okay.
Because I refuse to pay to watch them. A lot of stuff over the air, but then now, the NFL Network or ESPN2 or whatever, they're getting these things. And now if you want them, well, as long as you pay your cable company or whatever it is that you get it, well, you can watch some of these. You know what? I've stopped paying the cable company to watch TV, even though they said, we're all digital. I put one of those, well, they're not rabbit ears, but I put a set of rabbit ears up and shoot.
Well, see, I got the big old antenna on the roof that comes down to a digital box.
Yep.
So I get all the local channels. And
yes, they're struggling a bit, but
I'm the guy breaking all the rules. I still got satellite television, so.
Hey, there you go.
Excuse me.
I have DirecTV streaming through my Roku, but I use my dad's username and password, so he's the one that's paying for it on his satellite.
Hey, there you go.
And then I can use it here. So,
See? Perfect. Perfect. That's one thing I do like about some of these streaming services. So when we go up to camp, a lot of times, especially later in the evening or early in the morning, I can just literally hook my phone in and an HDMI cable to the television in Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, right here. And it goes right to the television.
Yeah.
and it has an adapter that it goes to power. So, oh yeah, it was great. I'm streaming what I want. So we have Apple TV, so I use the internet and I stream pretty much everything from there. Um, I could pay to watch particular games if I want, but it's like,
Yeah, the only one I pay for is ESPN Plus because they carry all the NHL now. So it's kind of like the NHL streaming packages over there.
And if you get that ticket, it's not like it's $100.
No, it's expensive. Yeah.
It's 400 fucking
I was
bucks.
going to say it's a couple of $100 to get that NFL ticket. I mean, if I was that into football, then I would always just say, have you guys over and we're watching 2 or 3 games on the weekend. You know, it's a Sunday thing or a
when DirecTV lost it and YouTube picked it up, everybody was screwed, man.
The problem is you will notice when the early window of games with the Sunday ticket now, YouTube buffers a lot just with the amount of bandwidth and the users watching. It will hit YouTube for a while.
What?
No, I haven't watched it on YouTube, but
Yeah.
It's all on
There's
YouTube.
there's so many people watching on YouTube TV that if you're watching regular YouTube, it'll buffer sometimes. It really slows down.
I didn't know that shit.
well, you know what? That'll explain some of the issues I had earlier today around 3:30, 4 o'clock, and during Kilco's stream.
Mhm.
And I'm like, But
Okay.
now that you mention that, I'm like, ooh. Because that would make sense. I never thought about that, about the NFL package error on YouTube that would cause such interference. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I've noticed that before that it does use a lot of bandwidth. And you'll notice regular YouTube will buffer slow down sometimes.
But yeah, I forgot that Top Dog and Eric aren't far from each other.
Mhm.
Yeah, not far at all. I mean, I know the area they're in. My aunt and uncle are not far from the Franklin Mall, so I've been there many times. And at one time, to go back into the 90s, early 90s, I didn't recognize this guy, but my aunt had mentioned to me, she says, you know, that is, guy jogging by. I said, no, why would I? I don't live down here. She says, that's Dave Ramsey. I'm like, who? Well, I know who he is now, but at the time I didn't, but he lived around the corner from them. He doesn't live there now, and neither do they. But yeah, they lived right around they lived right around the corner from him. Hey, Ben. Cheers, man. Yeah, I forgot about it being Hobbit Day.
Cheers, Ben.
Yeah, I knew you weren't far. And I can't remember the area my aunt and uncle live in now, but they're still in Brentwood. And though when you look out of their apartment, I can't remember if it's a Ross or something, but there's I don't want to call it a strip mall, but a strip mall directly across from them and where their apartment is. And, I've talked to her or FaceTimed her, and she'd be on the balcony there or the porch, and you could see the shops literally across the street, but they weren't there when they moved into that apartment.
Were you on Ken's stream this morning?
Yeah. Yep. About 15 minutes. I was testing something out to see if it worked because I was having a little technical issues, and it did work. I got like 15 minutes in before something happened on Ken's end and things went left, right, up, and down.
Yeah, I was on there for probably an hour. John gets on there like once every, what is it again, 10 months?
Yeah, I was in chat, but I didn't jump on stream. I hadn't showered yet, so I wasn't jumping.
That's right. We didn't want to see his smelly ass.
You
No.
See,
haven't
he has respect.
showered yet. Who the fuck knows if you showered or not?
Apparently, it affects him. He knows.
I look ugly enough as it is, so I don't need to jump on with the bedhead.
Yeah, my girl tells me, she goes, go hang out with your moonshiner friends on YouTube. I'm like, okay. Go hang out with those guys. I'm like, I gotta set up my food for work tomorrow and do a couple other things still. But I saw Anthony was on, turned it on. He was, I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. What glass should I fucking drink out of? Or, and he was going on and on about it.
But what is it with these people going to Italy? My sister's in Italy right now.
Everybody's leaving. Even Ken's leaving next year. He's gonna be in fucking Ireland. And he said he'd be out there for 3 months. He's taking Carly and his son.
Well, yeah, they're on their break or getting to be.
Ah, well, I don't. I've never seen that motherfucker go anywhere.
Oh, I've seen him go outside to the fire pit.
Yeah, I've never seen him go out of the country.
I've seen him go to the barbecue. You know, I've seen him cook steaks.
Well, he's talking about straining from fucking from Ireland. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to do that. If he does that, I'm going to be very impressed. This is going to be.
Hey, Donald, does he go to Munich next year or not?
I don't know that or not, but yes.
Who? Ken?
That's what I thought too, Donald. But I know he's going on an excursion, and Carly and his boy will go with him for a bit. But then they're going back.
Ken's going to Munich next year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Oktoberfest. Yes.
That's the one place I wouldn't mind leaving in a body bag to come back home from.
Jesus Christ, though. You see the crowd out there, though?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
And Donald gets the taxes tomorrow and Tuesday, I believe. It's kind of cool. They're going to Canada.
Well, that's good.
Sir.
That is definitely good. But,
sure.
So did you get anything new this week, John?
I have a hand delivery coming tomorrow with my own bottle of that Rebecca Creek Spanish Oak.
No, and I got a hand delivered from Chicharlino, and it was this thing. Nasty as shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've had it before. It's delish.
I got a very special hand delivery from somebody in New York who was on a hunt and found something.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody know exactly
Nothing wrong
what
with the lightable?
it is?
Is that the OG one?
It is too. It is the OG. Yes, it's the first Offerman released. The front of this box is a lot lighter than the side of the box. So it's been sitting a minute somewhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is, sir. It is the first release. Now I've got all four.
Nice.
There it is. It is still sealed.
Yeah, I got hand delivery with my bottles wrapped like that too. He does a great job.
Well, yes, he does. I can't complain. And when he told me he knew where it was, I said, "Well, why isn't it here?"
Yep.
I Venmo'd him his money. I said, "Make it so." And then
I got a compass box from Ben that's just sitting right in front of me here.
And then there's still another, because I'm on this here. Here it is. Well, that's George T. That's Midwinters. And then here is a special one. Let me put this back here. Put this back there. Sorry, people, don't mean to turn myself to you, but a nice dusty old turkey from 15, I think it is.
Oh, fuck. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's a 101.
Yeah, just a 101.
It's not a regular 101, though.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the older labels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm good now.
I got two of those left. They're
but when Mike and I are going to get together, because I got this dropped off by Ed, and this is full of dusty samples of turkey. So we want to see if through the years, so he has the same one, and we're going to compare them to see if there is a change. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because a lot of people say the older stuff is way better than this and way better than that. So there you go. So I got that from Ed.
I had one from an 81 decanter that was phenomenal. I had a 95 that was really good. I mean, there was a lot of like barn kind of funk in those that was really good.
Well, it's hard to get a hold of some of the older bottles though, too, though,
But then I had a pour of that Australian 13-year-old from Sean. Holy crap, was that stuff good?
Oh, from Sean. And then I got this dropped off. It's assorted delicious goodies that Eric was in a hurry, though, when he came by and dropped it off to me the second time. First time didn't turn out so well. I missed the package when it was thrown. Yeah. And then it showed up. Yeah. And then it showed up 10 days later. So, it was nice of him to turn back around and get that taken care of. But, so once I'm done with that, I'm going to have to open up one of these because I know Eric's there, but this is the Indian whiskey, Indian from the country, India. And this is the Amaroot Sherry NAS, coming in at 57.1 ABV, natural color, no chill filtered. So we're going to leave the Japanese and go to
is that the 57% Amaroot?
Yes. Yeah,
I had that sample, man. That was some good stuff.
Yes.
I'm sitting here with 3 different Lafroigs that only have like that much in them. So I'll probably put probably like a quarter ounce on each one. So
which one do you have? Do you have the Elements 1.0?
I've had that one before. I've got Elements 2.0, the 2016 Madeira cartridge, and the 2024 cartridge.
Okay, hold on.
The 2024 cartridge is just heaven.
It is just heaven, and I know I've had it, but I just want to see if I have a sample here. Since you have that, I'll drink something like that with you.
Yeah, I've got like a quarter ounce. I'm going to pour that. I'll probably finish these off tonight.
Oh my gosh. That's what happens. I know oh, wait a minute. What do I got here?
Yes, Donald, the intermediate. Yep.
That's the Talisker.
Ew.
That's the Talisker. Well, hold on. Let's open this up.
I'm watching the Mets game.
Let's peel this apart here.
Round.
Okay.
Where the fuck are they playing?
Ooh, Glenn Phillips.
Philadelphia.
Mets are playing the Phillies tonight.
Yeah.
On purpose?
Well, they all just the head coach, the head coach walked out to the mound, John, and everybody was fucking from the Mets was there. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Okay. You said Lafroig Carchis 2024?
Yep.
Ta-da!
It's literally one of the best things I've had in a long time.
Well, then I'm going to have some tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to finish this probably quarter or half ounce off tonight.
Yes, it is, Donald. Right there. Hold on, Brian. I see you there. There he is.
Cheers,
Hey.
Brian, man.
There you
How
go.
you
Little
Hey, Brian.
Yingling.
Cheers, bud.
But yeah, Donald, that's what this is.
How you doing, Brian?
It is the
Doing all
sherry, sir.
You fucking alcoholic.
Hey, Brian, we're on a platform where we both can hear tonight.
Yeah,
So
I have no idea what was
Because-
wrong.
because
I
John
had the problem too.
has the Lafroig, I'm going to
Oh,
open that and
that
put
was
the
fucking,
Emerald
that was fucking Ben's friend,
back
right?
here.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, thank goodness I have the appropriate Glen for the statute of a Lafroig Carchis. I'll put it in this glass.
So, Brian, then I went to Facebook when I woke up yesterday, and that platform is the first ad I saw on Facebook.
what
That
was that
Emirates
thing?
or whatever it is.
What was that? What's that platform called?
Emirates?
Yeah, like Medevac or
Yeah, I don't
some
know.
some
I wasn't
bullshit
there
you
long
never heard
enough
of.
to know.
You gave up on it that quick?
Well, I tried like 3 times, but every time I went in, you guys could hear me, but I couldn't hear anything.
No, and then fucking Ben's like, well, we need to figure out the bugs on this. I'm like, dude, people want to be interactive with you. Quit fucking around. Well, this works. I'm like, hey, it works.
But the problem is they're doubling the price of StreamYard.
Yes, I just saw that. So it's
So,
like
So StreamYard like $40, Anthony?
it's 25 and now it's going up to like 50.
Oh my God.
So if I'm not really getting what I feel out of it, I'll have to find another platform.
No, you don't. Just stick something in the link and we donate and tip the bartender, which is you. And it pays for itself. Just like him does.
you
That's
nose
how
in
you-
the purchase, Anthony?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm smelling it right now. Oh
That's how
my
you-
goodness.
That's how you pay for it.
I'm going to get a different Glen while I got this reaching for that purchase.
Oh my goodness, Eric. This thing smells amazing. Oh my goodness. The 2024 Lafroig Carchis. PX Sherry. Oh, yes. Yes, let me just
Okay,
pour
here
a
we
little
go.
more. I got to pour just a little more in there to be fair. Where's Hanging AZ? To be fair. Look at the color.
To be fair, well, I would say Sean too, but
I mean,
Yep.
look at the color on this thing.
that's
Look at that. That is beautiful. I'm sure that Yingling has a good color too, Brian.
Yeah, if you could see it through the green glass.
Unfortunately, and believe it or not, at times that will pop up out here. At times. But, when I'm back home there on the East Coast, oh yeah, I look for Yingling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yep,
buy a
yep.
12-pack of beer a year, and it's this. That's all I drink, 12 a year.
But yeah, that's
From home.
that,
If I'm out, I'll have something when I'm out. maybe, but at home.
But oh my goodness, this is wonderful. So this is the
Just look
2024.
at the glass, Anthony. Just
Oh, I'm looking at it. That's why I put it in this one. I need it in a glass of reverence.
to look at the legs on this when you roll it around.
Mm.
Exactly. Look at that thing. So at 52.4 ABV, quarter casks. Oh yeah. And you can smell the peat on this, but it's not like your typical Lafroig. I mean, it is, but it's not that right up in your nose peat. It isn't.
No, I think the PX kind of tampers it a little bit.
Wow. This is nice. Truly nice. It really is.
Let me know when you're going in.
I'm going in. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, sure. I mean, the peat isn't overwhelming, but you get a big bit of smoke, right?
On the retro hail, I've got smoke. The sherry, it just abounds in this. It's very it's very creamy, silky. I think the ABV is nice. 52.4. I think the ABV is nice on this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get the smoke on the palate, but it's almost like the PX kind of tempers the burniness.
I'm tasting the medicinal, but the sherry is prominent. The sherry is prominent. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not, but I didn't know it was a 10-year. So the Lafroig Cartridge, the 2024 is a 10-year.
Mm.
You know, the retro hail or the finish, the peat is there, but let me say this, it's not like a 10.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? The Lafroig 10 peat and is more up front. And I'm sure it was to the same level when they smoked the grain, but it doesn't come through like that on the palate. I mean, I'm getting it, but it is not as forward as if it was just the 10 or the Lafroig Lore or the Lafroig quarter cask. Those are very similar. This is the same but different, to where the peat, I would say, is subdued compared to those. And I'm almost tempted to grab a little bit of the 10 or Warehouse 1, which is there. And just see, let me look. Now I'm thinking. I gotta look. That's the 10. 4. Oh, here it is. Okay. This is the 10 sherry oak finish. I just want to see. Let's just do a little.
Cheers.
Let's just see. Oh, any glass will do. I just want to taste. Oops. Wow, the colors is similar. This is the 10 Cherry Oak finish in the Lafroig. All right. So let's see here. My finger don't want to. There it is. One.
I'll let the cart whip your ass. Anthony.
Okay. All right. So in this little glass here is the Lafroig 10 in the Sherry Oak finish. All right.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
So that's in this one. We set this here.
Cheers, Richie.
Cheers, Richie. Can't see the chat, people. Sorry.
Okay. The difference is it's 48 ABV. However,
Say anything you want to me, man. I can't see it.
Appreciate you, John.
about time you show up. I'm surprised you're still using that avatar with that jersey on. It's my nephew.
Okay.
Yeah, he should burn that right next to my Caps jersey because they both.
No. We are loyal. We are loyal to Pittsburgh. That's just the way it is. I'm not loyal to VGK. That's for sure. I never jumped on that bandwagon. Won't jump on that bandwagon.
Brian,
Hope they would lose.
Brian, did the WNBA get a championship or what?
Now they're on a
I don't know
roll.
about
Those
that.
girls are on a roll.
I don't
Those
follow
girls
any
are
square
on a
foot
roll.
hockey. my friend.
I gotta make sure I pop in here and I saw him in earlier, but I got to be chatting and just say, hey Richie, thanks for popping in, man. Coming to say hi, smashing that like button, and especially calling out Gizmo.
Oh, so they run the playoffs, right?
WNBA is.
Well, the fucking top two commentators that are on ESPN are Jesus Christ, man.
No, they're not him.
They're sexy bitches, man. They're sexy bitches.
But so this is the 10. Let me go back to this.
Okay.
Yeah, I only have about a quarter ounce, so this is the end of my cartridge right here.
Hold on to it for a moment.
Okay.
So this is the 2024 Carchus. This is the 10-year PX. So basically, sherry finish here, Carchus here. Hope you guys can see a good on the color. It's damn similar. So they're both 10 years. Lighter proof on this one. 52, 48.
Yeah,
However,
the one on
the profile is extremely similar.
Man.
But the proof on the Carchus is what pulls it ahead of the 10. Now, for the money, you're at about the same price on the Carchus and on the 10-year sherry.
Yeah.
If you're price conscious, this is what I'll tell you. If you find the Carchus, pick up the Carchus. That proof, that few more points in proof, that 4 or 5 points, yeah, you've got to go for it. You got to go for it. The Carchus wins. I mean, the profiles are almost identical, but the proof is what really does it. So are you working tonight, Matt, or are you just lurking?
Working.
They're in, if I'm not mistaken, Delaware. They're on the wrong side of the world, but you know, it's all right. They both work in the hospital there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the carcass. I mean, that even the nose, a little buttery on the carcass compared to the 10. Okay. So I'm going to ask you, all is well? You, the wife, everything is good?
Yep.
Other than being in Delaware.
Well, yeah. I
I
bust
just think
on
of the
him
Wayne's
enough.
World movie, like Delaware.
Hey, I bust on him enough. I don't want to bring that up, but you know.
Yep.
Yeah, the carcass is I like the nose, and it's just that little bit more proof. Really, to me, is what pushes it over the edge versus the straight 10.
It's just beautiful stuff, though, isn't it?
It is. Thank you, Eric.
Yep.
Thank you, Eric. My bottle came from the same place, so.
Yeah, exactly. You know that I that's one of the things I did talk about on my Zoom meeting is this community and the generosity. And I said, there's some stuff that, you know, I just don't get here. And they don't know Eric, but I mentioned his first name. And I said, you know, he is such a good supporter of us, but truly a good friend. And, you know, I was talking to him about this and how people are so willing to share, especially when they know you just can't find this stuff or get this stuff. And they were like, really? I go, oh, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And sometimes I don't say anything. I might make a passing comment. And then next thing I know, my doorbell rings and they're throwing a package at me and saying, I'll see you on the next stream, and taking off. It's like,
Yep.
really? So really to not only Eric, but you know, he is a true friend of whiskey. So I have to raise my glass to him and say, really, thank you.
I have a much lighter simple from Eric now. So.
Yeah.
And I
I'm
know
on to the Elements. That's the Elements 2.0.
Oh, I know. I got that too.
That's the very bottom of this one too.
But
I literally had a quarter ounce of each of these three left. So. This one I really enjoyed too.
And this is just what I'm saying. This whiskey is truly meant to be sipped, savored, and enjoyed, and discussed. You know, amongst us.
Yeah.
You know what? You know, I like that as an Uncle Nearest. I don't have that out here. But if I'm telling you what, Matt, let me know what it is. Go ahead and pick it up and try it. But I would be interested in that for sure. So I know of it. That's it.
Yep.
So next time you get some more information or you're out and about, shoot me pictures. You know what to do. Even though I might be at school, I will stop to take a look.
Yes, sir.
What? What? Are you kidding me? I was interested until that price. I didn't think it was up there, but I knew it was over $100. I knew it was over 100.
Ouch.
That's a little pricey.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And it will stay on the shelf. It's going to stay on the shelf for a minute. But Uncle Nearest is good. I have a couple of different bottles. As a matter of fact, I went
We
through
get
a
it
bottle.
here. I've never bought any.
You know
we
what?
get it.
They're what I call their core line, and even they just come out with a rye for the money. Brian, I think it's good whiskey.
Okay.
It's one of the few Tennessee really sipping whiskeys that I like. And so, yeah, I just finished a bottle off with a guy in the next spot over from me this summer. As a matter of fact, I left him probably about 3 glassfuls. I left the bottle on his table with a new Glen
Mm.
when we left. So when he got up from his nap, he saw the bottle there with the Glen. So I know he knows it's for me because we shared that bottle and tore it up in a night. That's for sure. Because there was that much left at the bottom of the bottle. But it was a good night of just sitting, sipping, and bullshitting. Yeah, it could stay on the shelf. Oh, yeah. And when I met the master distiller, I met her. She was very personable, very nice, and went through the story about Uncle Nearest and Jack Daniels and the partnership or the friendship that they had through the years. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. I knew it wasn't 1920, it was 1820, but that's okay, Richie. We all do it. But she was a really nice lady, so I have a signed bottle, and I put that on my shelf next to a couple of horse soldiers I have that are signed by the couple of the original horse soldiers when they rode into Afghanistan days after 9/11.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I keep my bottle of Elmer T. Lee there that I've never opened, but it's on that shelf too. I have no intentions on opening it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's okay. It's not fantastic whiskey, but I got it at retail, so that's why I bought it. But I actually forget about it because it's out of sight.
Signature.
What about the signature, Brian?
That's all I have from Elmer T. Lee. I have a bottle of Buffalo Trace signed by him.
Oh, dude. Was that you drank that bottle, though, right?
I did. I bought it at the distillery when they opened, like a month after they started selling Buffalo Trace, and I didn't know anything about nothing. I didn't know who Elmer T. Lee was at that point in my life. And I drank the bottle, put it in a thing because I was saving it because I was like, oh, down the road I'll put it on a shelf, and it was the first bottle of Buffalo Trace that I had bought because it was one of the first distillery tours I had ever done, and that's why I kept it. And then I pulled it out here recently, and I went, that's signed by Elmer T. Lee.
Yeah, and you went.
And from what I researched, when he was still alive, he would go into the distillery and just pick up bottles and sign them.
Mm-hmm. I heard that story from you. Yeah. Well, we all have stories like that. You can remember, and I can remember that you were buying Pappy for, let's say, $100 for a bottle. I mean, and I'm talking the 20 plus years, 23 years, something like that.
Yeah.
It's an odd year, 23, 24, or something like that.
Yeah,
it was on the shelf like Jack Daniels. It was. And now look at it. Try get a Pappy 15.
Yeah.
I remember the days, probably 5-6 years ago, where Blanton's, Elmer, and E.H. Taylor were all next to each other on the shelf, and they were all about $40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And overnight, then everybody tatered out, and
so one of the things that came up, of course, always Blanton's too. Blanton's comes up, Basil Hayden comes up, but anyway, the guy talked about it, and I said, yeah, that's one of the biggest tater bottles going and the biggest ripoff. He's like, and he laughed a bit, and he goes, well, I picked one up. And I said, well, everybody's done it. And he says, how many do you have? I said, oh, I haven't, but I said, I've never owned a Blanton's. Now I said the Blanton's from the barrel, they're single barrel. I said, oh, now that's good whiskey. But I said the Blanton's Gold. I said, just go get the Buffalo Trace Standard. Just go get the
I'm
Buffalo
still
Trace.
working on a bottle of Blanton's from 2019 yet. It just happened to be on the shelf for $60, and I'm like, no, that's probably the last one I'll ever see, so I'm just gonna buy it.
Well, okay, $60 to me is reasonable.
Yeah.
For $50 bottle, let's say. Yeah.
But it was the last one I ever saw on the shelf.
Yeah. So for a price like that, I might grab it. Prescription bourbon, it is, Dave. It's a nice sipping whiskey, and that I went through that with a guy this summer. Matter of fact, about let's say 4 weekends ago, and it was just a nice night of just sitting, sipping, and BSing for a few hours.
Those were always the good nights.
It was. And he really enjoyed it. He says, man, that's really good whiskey. I go, I said, it is good whiskey. I said, in my opinion, it's not really good. However, I will definitely buy it again because it's under $50. So I said, it's one of those whiskeys that are overlooked. And it's just like I was saying tonight. This is an excellent bottle for $15 to $20, depending upon where you are.
Yep.
All day long. And I said earlier, I go, I don't know why I'm not drinking it more often. Well, I grab a Scotch, or I grab the Russells, or the Old Forester there, or I've been into the Elijah Craig toasted, or the toasted rye. So, I have more than 50 other choices.
I just finished a bottle of Old Granddad 114 on Friday, and that's $22 on the shelf here. How can you go wrong?
Yes,
you can't, and that's one of the things.
$29.99 here, but I buy them.
Yeah, it's still a good bottle, that 114. Yep. And I again, that's exactly my whole start of the conversation I had on that Zoom meeting the other day. When we got into glasses, and I said, when you start out, I kind of went through the whole spiel because I don't know where they are in the journey. Not like you guys, when I'm talking to you here live, or I'm talking to the people in chat. I know where you are. So when I say, oh, you know what this tastes like, and I mention it, you got it, you've had it. But I don't know these people. It's a brand new, fresh audience, and they don't know me. There's one or two people that know me, but the other ones in there don't. So, I have to assume that they don't understand. And some of them have a good working knowledge. They do. But their palate is nowhere near where we are. But that's fine, because we were all there too. We were all there too. And I straight out told him, just like I said in this stream, I'm no professional by any means. I just know what I like. And I can describe some tasting notes, some different aromas I get from nosing. I go, that doesn't make me anything special. We all can do it. And you'll do it too once you have the experiences and you go through this and you make the connections. And I said, what you get or what you perceive generally isn't wrong, because that's what it triggers in your mind when that aroma hits your olfactory.
That one, so, David?
Ooh, yellow spot.
Yellow spot.
DMC was asking if that was a spot.
Excuse me while I whip this out here.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, but what I learned was Virginia's MSRP was $22 higher than everywhere else's MSRP.
What the fuck? Really?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is
Hey,
the
cheers, Tommy.
this is the well, I can't say improved live wire. I doubt if we're improved. And just so you know, Tommy, it's not my fault. This
No,
is just what you get.
You're the improved live wire.
I doubt that highly. I doubt
When I
that.
first read it, I thought he was talking about
I've seen Mike in action.
Hey, Mike calls me just before forfeit. He goes, "Damn it, I got to call Anthony off the bench."
Mike's called me and told me he wants to forfeit.
That's like the advertising. Next time you fill in my spot, it'd be like the new and improved live wire. That should be your thumbnail.
We go. We go ball break. I'll be right back.
And absolutely correct, Richie. Absolutely correct. So I'm with you, and that's exactly how I try to convey my message. Yeah.
Oops.
That's all right. You'll find it eventually.
I think we fell down between the chair and the end table there.
I don't think he did. He did.
Just we did.
Well, his phone did.
Oh, Anthony, I look at what Richie's comment, and I'm always a history nut. And with whiskey, there's always something new to learn and something new to try.
Well, that's like today when I did this stream about the temperatures and the tasting. Holy smokes. Who thought if he heated your whiskey up to 100.8 degrees that, oh my gosh, that's actually not too damn bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it was soothing. It was sweet. It was syrupy.
So then here's my question. I thought about when you were doing that portion, or when I was watching. When you go and do a barrel pick, where are you doing the barrel pick most of the time? In the hot warehouse.
Yeah, but I doubt if it's well, you know what? I don't know if it's 100 degrees in the warehouse. I've never been in.
It's warmer than room temperature in my house. I can guarantee that.
Oh yeah, it's probably 80, 90 degrees.
So I was thinking, I was like, oh, are people? I've only done one barrel pick, so I can't. But people who've done a lot of barrel picks, I always hear, oh, it tastes different, but then it was proofed down. But if it is a cask strength, I would like to see numbers on that, like, oh, it's a little less than what we picked because of that heat difference.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got what you're saying now. Yeah, well, I'm sure it's warmer in those rick houses.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm sure they are. I mean, I haven't been in one, but I have heard that no, it's hot in some of those. I mean, hot like 90 plus degrees. But that's like a normal summer day, let's say, because that's a warehouse. But again, when I warmed that whiskey up to that, it wasn't what I was thinking. It still had flavor. It still had good aromas to it, if not more like a stewed fruit, plum, prune, fig. I don't know, but it was thick. And it was pleasing. That's what was the surprising part of it. It was pleasing. And I wasn't expecting that, John. I mean, I just wasn't. It just wasn't something I thought I would get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It made a difference.
Too many pours, we can be stewed fruits too. So.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. But none of us have been that far yet.
Not tonight, though.
No, never been.
Exactly.
Then we just look like Rusty taking a nap.
Exactly, Bourbon.
Ooh,
exactly. Is he still sleeping, or?
I knew that would wake him up from the drive. I knew that would be like, that would get his attention.
Well, I went from a little frog back to this Yuichi, and it still holds up.
I'm finishing the regular 10, and I'm holding on to the cartridge right here, the last couple of sips. But
I finished that Elements. Have you had the 2.0 yet?
No, I haven't, but
Okay.
I have not went to the 2.0.
Okay.
I'm sure it's in that pack.
I was such a fan of the 1.0. I love that. Was almost like drinking honey almost.
Now I know it's here. Oh, I was like, I just had here. Here it is. That's the 1.0.
Yeah.
Again, thank you, Eric.
Did you get that honey sweetness on that one?
Yes. Heather is what I call that. It's usually not honey.
But it was like a thick kind of coating almost on your tongue.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was a very pleasing. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't like that, Dave, at all. But we've all been down that road. Oh my gosh, Mr. Mom. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thank you for popping in. I trust you got everyone in bed napping, and it's time to just take a little time for yourself. But I appreciate you coming, saying hello, smashing a like button hard enough that you knock Z-Man's hat off.
Well, he did knock his phone to the floor already. So
there you go.
I'm watching the WNBA right now. I can't believe this shit.
Believe it.
You're not watching football right now?
Oh, it's the who the fuck is it? It's the
Chiefs
Seattle.
at Atlanta. It's on right now.
Really?
Yeah. NBC
okay.
Sunday night game.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah, there's 2 Monday night games tomorrow.
Dude, I don't fucking know what the hell goes on here.
Yeah, there's 2 Monday night games tomorrow for some reason.
Chiefs and who?
Chiefs at Atlanta tonight.
So I'm gonna do 12.
That's probably why we don't see Mr. Thompson. He's probably enjoying the game right now.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck Eric.
Oh. Tell us how you really feel.
Is Kelsey still playing with the Chiefs, or did he retire?
No, he's still playing.
Okay. Guys at work told me he retired.
His brother did.
Oh, okay.
Center for the Eagles. He's doing like commercials for Old Smoky Moonshine now.
Anyway, fuck Eric. I dare him to get on here while he's watching this game and be a fucking real man.
There's the man, the myth, the legend.
Cheers, Jigs.
Cheers, man.
Hey.
Thanks for popping in, brother. Appreciate you.
Eric won't get on here.
Just like I told Mr. Mom, smash that like button so hard you knock Z-Man's hat off. See?
You ain't man enough to do that. Okay? Try it.
Try it for the 3rd time. Give him a knot on his head, Mr. Jigs.
Give me a fucking... I still gotta go to bed and wake up and fucking make food for work tomorrow, so... Whatever else is I gotta do.
Oh, you are absolutely correct.
Yep.
And that is one of the points I made on that Zoom meetup I did this week. I said, the whiskey is meant to be shared. It's meant to be shared with friends. It's meant to be enjoyed. The camaraderie, the stories that it will make, and it will turn into the memories for tomorrow and down the road. That is really what makes this.
Mahomes just ran for.
I'm at the point where, as much time as I spent with you guys here, unless I'm on here or with my family or friends, I don't usually drink whiskey by myself at home.
No,
I do enough while I'm hanging out with you guys.
Yeah,
I don't need to drink just by myself for no reason.
No. You watching this game, John?
No, I'm flipping back and forth though. But
no, I'll turn it back on, man. Fucking Mahomes just ran.
All of a sudden, I heard him scream, and I'm like, "What the hell?"
Well, that's because the elastic snapped on his underwear, probably. That's what I thought.
He just ran
I
for
thought
first
maybe he
down.
had no more Miller Lite left or something.
Oh, the
No.
windows would have broke.
I'll never.
Hey, you'd have heard the touchstone on the phone calling, what is that? Drizzly?
Drizzly is gone. If you want to get liquor on the run, you got to do it through Uber. And
Oh,
believe
they
me,
left Arizona?
No, they stopped. Uber sold. Uber
Oh,
bought
that's
out Drizzly.
right. That's
Uber
right.
bought out Drizzly. So if I
Damn.
want liquor on the run, I go through Uber.
Yep, that's it. That's right, Eric. Yeah, I don't drink really much by myself anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you there, Mr. Mom. Cheers, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah, Kelsey's still playing. Okay. This is Kelsey at Atlanta. And I haven't seen Taylor Swift yet.
What? I got to get a little closer. Really? Really? Where did they find that, Donald? Or is it just one of those things, right place, right time? Josh, I told you it was the elastic on Tidy Whitey's.
And the thing is,
top
Z-Man can't see it either.
Shut up, man. What's going on in chat?
Nothing. They're just saying that you're cheering on the WNBA.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
There's some pretty girls playing that fucking basketball, man. Just saying. You don't think so? You're fucking gay. You're just gay. You know what? Oh, you stupid motherfuckers. I'm going back to the fucking WNBA.
You should.
Storming the Aces is the other game I was watching.
You should.
Fuck the NFL. Big, tall, sexy bitches playing basketball. Oh, you guys don't give me a bunch of shit? Fuck you.
That's usually how it goes, Donald. Carl T. Cheers, man.
I can't be an American.
Appreciate you. Thanks for popping in, saying hello, smashing that like button. And when you smash it hard enough, you knock Z-Man's hat off. That's perfect.
Whose washer is going off?
What?
Oh, okay, it's yours. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's the washer or the dryer, but
I don't have the newer ones. I still have the old top load in my basement.
Well,
but I hear that every time I go to my parents' house, that beeping.
3 years ago, when a water line broke in here and flooded the house, like this room and the next room, and then down the hallway, and I mean, what a mess. Ended up having to buy new machines.
There you go, Jigs.
So.
Oh.
Well, understood, Carl.
Oh boy! Wow.
Yeah.
Okay then.
So,
if he was only watching us on TV and seeing him in chat, but
I have to say that this Carchus 2024 is a sublime pour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, every drop deserves to be savored. Deserves to be savored. It's really good. And I don't want to add any heat to this. That's for damn sure. However, I should have seen what the temperature of it was, but I'm done with that part of the stream now. But this is, it really is good. But like I said, compared to the Lafroig 10 sherry cask finished and this, it's extremely similar, but the difference is in the proof of the cartridge. That higher proof of the cartridge in the, what is it? What I say is 52. Yeah, 52.4 in the cartridge and 48 on the 10. Let me make sure I had that right. Yeah, 48. That little bit more proof for the money. The cartridge is the way to go. The cartridge is the way to go. I mean, it is such a great tasting whiskey. The nose is not, it really isn't your typical Lafroig, what you expect. And that sherry really sweetens that nose up. It really does.
That's why I think that PX really mutes the peat.
I love PX. I love a PX finish. I don't mind an Oloroso.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with an Oloroso, but
yeah, but it just does a really good job of muting the peat. Yeah.
Especially, if they're wet, so you're getting that juice and everything else in there while it's being finished. Oh my goodness!
Got them like a what, Z-Man?
Shut up, man.
I don't know. He's getting quiet there.
We eating popcorn, man.
Okay, well you can eat it. We're watching you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You women are really
Yep, you're sold on screen now too. So.
Who? Me?
You.
No, I'm not.
No, I didn't. But yeah, it is inaugural debut actually, Dave. Is this particular cap that's here. Now, the one I had on 2 weeks ago, I'll switch it out just so you can see it, was this one that I had on 2 weeks ago. Just for you, so you can see it right here. So that's the one I had on 2 weeks ago, made its debut. So there you go.
Well, all right.
I'll leave it on. Stay. So next week or so, I have another one to debut.
Where'd John go?
Oh yeah. So what I started drinking, Carl, was wrong one, was the Lafroig Cartridge 2024, which is in this glass that I've been just savoring, coming in at 52.4. What I had poured and I sipped in this was the Lafroig 10 Sherry Oak finished whiskey, which in itself was delicious, but I prefer the higher proof. The higher proof is what made it. The difference between that and then the cartridge, the proof really is what made this shine. They were very, very similar profiles, very, very similar taste. But once you kicked up that proof a notch, bingo, cartridge. That is a sublime drink. Absolutely delicious. So you got to like the peat. And you know what? What John and I were saying, it is not your typical Lafroig 10, your quarter cask or your lower peat that is synonymous. It's there, but that sherry really knocks it down. and just smooths it out and makes it such an approachable whiskey. Such an approachable whiskey. It's really, really good juice.
Well, John, is it approachable?
Very much so. If you like drinking Lafroy.
Lafroy's fucking
Yeah.
sucks. It's hot garbage.
Wow. Okay.
Tastes like Band-Aids and eight.
You sound like me, Mr. Mom. 87, 88. I was in a little town called Philadelphia. No, I said it right. Philadelphia. And I was there on a train. Ooh, Lord.
Is that a dirty band?
Oh my goodness. That porcelain god got a workout from me. Oof. And I pretty much laid off scotch for a minute. I really did.
Barfing ain't easy, brother.
I mean, it was hard earned lesson, let me tell you. But I still went to training the next 2 days.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, my God.
Yeah. If you can't power through a barfing, you're not a man.
Okay. I gotta write that down. That
That needs to be on a t-shirt.
you can't power through a bar. Okay.
There you go.
Power through it, Anthony.
Oh yeah. I was still at work. That's for sure. But this is wonderful. So are you going to do anything particular, Brian, when they drop that first puck on the ice? Are you going to be at home watching it with your popcorn and Yingling or what?
I don't even know what day they've opened.
Oh, I don't believe you don't know what day it is.
I don't. I think it's the 3rd or 4th. I don't know. I don't do anything any day, so.
You fucking you old ass retired people are just off the charts. Jesus.
Well, no, I'm not doing anything because. Well,
what's it like to be?
No.
What's
I
it
mean,
like to be
I'll
old and
probably
retired?
be in the other room over there watching it, or I'll be on the stream watching it on the. I installed a TV up above the tablet last year so I could watch hockey games and be on stream at the same time. So.
No. So you might watch it.
Oh, I will watch it. It just depends on is there
I
a
have
stream
to.
that I want to be on while the game is that night. I don't like I said. I don't know what night it starts, and then if it is, then I'll be watching on that TV right there.
So Z-Man or Richie, I'm just telling you, I could not concur more with that statement. I agree with that. I think scotches are a more relaxing drink.
Oh, no, they're not.
However, I don't discount bourbon. But if I am in the mood to sit, relax with my feet up in my lazy boy, I probably 8 times out of 10 will grab.
Don't say scotch.
I will grab a scotch.
Ah!
Yeah, I just looked that up. It's October 8th is opening night.
Yep, that's what I was just going to say, Mr. Jiggs.
See, I only plan like next week. So, what's the matter, Z-Man? You don't like this stuff here?
I don't like the fucking scotch shit. Jesus
You don't like
Christ.
that?
Oh, yeah,
you got
that's the good stuff.
standard 10 or a cast strength?
It's
That's
just the
standard.
10.
Okay.
It smells so good, Z-Man.
Brian, you gonna tell me you love scotch?
I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
So,
I'm on to my last sample from Eric right now, which is the bottom end of the 2016 Cartridge Madeira.
Bottles of scotch.
David, I was in Norristown, Philadelphia for a week.
What about
Don't
scotch,
hold it
Brian?
against me.
I said I have about 8 bottles of scotch.
So I go ahead. the hostess for Anthony. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Anthony.
What's that?
I said, go ahead.
Oh, I am. I'm just working on the chat here.
You're working on something fucking nasty. You and your fucking scotch.
Wow.
Oh, it's so delicious, and I love it. Nobody loves scotch.
It
It's
is.
delicious.
There's more sophistication and elegance, and I agree with that. When you drink a
Well,
good
maybe that's
single
why I don't
malt
drink
scotch,
very often, because I'm not sophisticated.
and like I said,
Or
I have
elegant.
no problem with a good bourbon, with a good Irish, with a good American malt, but when it comes to true sipping whiskey, I find it hard to beat a quality
Long
scotch.
Branch.
Oh, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
Now, have you ever?
Don't even think that. I heard that. I picked that up.
Hey, Anthony, when you throw up in your mouth, does that remind you of scotch?
Oh no, it's that's back in the 80s. Yeah, that's done.
You know, like people will drink beer with the seasons, like lighter beer in the summer, dark beer in the winter. I drink more bourbon and rye during the summer, and I drink more Scotch and Irish pot still during the winter. It's just how the seasons work.
Springbank is in itself a treat. Love my Springbank stuff. That's for sure. And yes, I do too. I do too. But if I'm just going to sit and I want something that's just what I call good and enjoyable, I mostly grab a scotch 8 times out of 10. There are a few bourbons that call me. Smoke Wagon is one of them. Either the straight small batch or the uncut unfiltered. And I will go for the Still Austin, Texas, or the which I think is like my number one right now pick is this one that I've had this
Anthony
year.
gave a positive review of a Texas whiskey.
In bourbon is the Dark Arts. Oh, and I have the whiskey that brought me back to Texas whiskey was Still Austin. That was the one that turned me back to it. I actually had a Balcones when Chris was here. Oh, speak of the devil, when Chris was here. And I will say this, I actually drank a glass of it. It was not terrible. Chris, what was that Balcones you forced me to drink?
Was that the triple cherry?
No.
Was that the triple cherry one?
I can't remember, but it just still had that Balcones funk that it just didn't do. Oh, it is. It was. There it is. It was the triple cherry. And like I said, I was able to get it down and try to pick some things out of it, but it still had that Balcones funk that it just turned me. I just don't like it. So it really was it delish, Mr. Jiggs?
That's a good word, man. Everything is fucking delish.
Yeah.
Delish.
Oh yeah, that Jack Rose, you got to go. But yeah, for 2024 right now, this one has been my this one here, this Dark Arts 7-year straight bourbon whiskey coming in 170 proof, 7-year-old MGP. Wow. This is a great bourbon.
There you
Great
go.
bourbon. I thoroughly enjoy that one.
Mhm.
Of course, the Scotch right now that is tops on my list, just tasting it right now, is this Carchus 2024. And second is my Offerman in the Caribbean rum cask on the scotches right now that I've had for 2024. The Glenglassalt Sands End, if we're still talking scotch, is the other one that's in my wheelhouse and that I've really liked this year. The Portnoy by Glenglassalt has been a phenomenal whiskey, peated. It's really nice whiskey, really nice whiskey. The Elijah Craig Toasted Rye is another good one this year that I enjoyed a lot. And Elijah Craig is one of the few ryes that give me that mint note that I don't always get on a rye. But it was really, really nice. Really nice. So those right now are the ones that I have been enjoying. And recently now this Carchus, which is really, really nice. I'm trying not to pour more of it, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour the Lafroig Elements 1.0. I'm going to pour some more of that. And I had that before because this is a little sample here. But again, thanks to Eric, I am enjoying my next pour. And a more Lafroig, which you really have to twist my arm to drink. Most people know when it comes to peated whiskey, you really got to twist my arm. But see, even this, now I'm remembering, even this whiskey here, it's not your typical Lafroig. I'm sorry. I mean, it is Lafroig, but it's not that hitting that hit in your face peat.
Mm-hmm.
This is a beautiful, beautiful single malt scotch. Sweet heather, fruit like pears. A pudding, a thick vanilla creamy pudding. The smoke is there, don't get me wrong, but it is so subdued. It is just, it takes a back seat to everything else. And that is generally not like your Lafroig 10, your lore in Lafroig. It's not. When you get into these like the Carchus or this Elements, they're a different world. Even in the 10-year sherry finish Lafroig, it is not those. You cannot honestly put them in the same category. And I know you've had at least two that I'm talking about, John, and you can't put them in the same category. You just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just not the same. But you know, I had this 1.0 before, but this is so nice. Now, it's not near as dark as what we were drinking, John, but it's not
Is
sherry.
that the 1.0?
Yeah, that's the 1.0. You finished
This
yours.
might sound weird, and maybe it's just my palate. And I think this is a wonderful thing, by the way. But it tasted to me like honeyed cigarette ash, in a good way.
Definitely the honey.
Mhm. But I get more of a clean smoke from it.
It's not a Kilhoman clean, but
Yeah.
it's not a Kilhoman
Yeah.
clean, but oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's definitely the honey. It's definitely fruit.
Mhm.
It's got a sweetness. It's got a creamy sweetness, like a pudding,
Yeah.
a vanilla pudding.
I think that bottle and the 2024 cartridge are two bottles I need on the shelf.
I would almost. No, let me rephrase that. I probably would give this to somebody that is not absolutely new to peat,
Mhm.
but at least has a few toes in the water.
Yeah, they're not going to get the Band-Aids from this.
No,
Scotch is disgusting.
I'm on
And
the
I
red.
think people see that name Lafroig on a white bottle and they're just,
Oh, they do. There is a big, there's a stigma when you see Lafroig. That's iodine. That's Band-Aid.
My first
That's
Scotch
hate.
was
That is
my first Scotch was
medicinal.
Lafroig. My first Scotch was Lafroig 10. And
I mean, yeah, that is
it destroyed my palate.
really different. Really different.
That's not really different. It's fucking Band-Aids and hate, dude. Come on.
the one Lafroig that I actually really hated was the Select. That's one bottle I couldn't stand. I think every other Lafroig I like.
All right, Chris. Night, man.
Cheers, Chris.
Cheers, Chris. I think Lafroig 10 can be vomit in the cup.
See, I definitely get some floral note on this with the honey. Definitely get some floral note with the honey on this.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. You keep drinking your Scotch. Sorry, Anthony. I'm just in a mood, brother.
And you can call it delish too.
Yeah, I'm just in a mood, brother. Yeah, it's fucking no. Hey, the water off that Scotch was delish.
And they are, Richie. And the cartridge that I had prior to this, the 2024, and then the sherry finished regular Lafroig 10, they were both excellent whiskeys, but the proof is what put it out. But I love the sherry finish, and those two were excellent examples of that. They were excellent.
You can't call Scotch whiskey.
This right here is truly a good Scotch. I really love the nose. I mean, I'm drawn to the nose of this Scotch.
Jonathan knows what? Band-Aids and hate.
You know what, Dave? Sometimes it's the journey and how you experience this journey. Eric Thompson was that way, and he just totally loathed the peat, and Lafroig was one of them. I turned him to the light. I got him through it with what he had, and he has now come to the light and realized the goodness of Lafroig. And so don't lose hope. You too can be welcomed into the light. We don't discriminate. We accept everybody.
So David's mentioning Abel Abuna for a sherry winner. If you can find a Tamdu batch strength, it's an absolute sherry bomb.
Oh, Tamdu? Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay, Carl.
There you go. Oh, speaking of that, see, as soon as I start really getting into Lafroig and saying Pete 3 times, look who shows up to say hello, smash that like button, and make sure that Z-Man's hat gets knocked off. There you go.
Well,
it's Monday for Ken. Sorry, Ken. I know you're probably doing that W thing.
yeah, fuck Ken and his work. Dude ain't make no money. I think he's prostituting himself.
Always good to have the land down under there in Australia represented.
I'm switching up the Pete now.
I don't blame you.
This is, well, it's getting down there, but committee release of the Scorch.
Oh. Have you had where's my ard bag? I know it's in here.
Hard bag.
Hold on. I think it's this one.
One more pour, boys, and I gotta go.
Have you had the Ard Core, John?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh. This one was created with black malt barley.
Okay.
So it has a real good dark chocolate, toffee. Now a little anise in there, but I don't mind anise. I love the Italian biscotti and either or, either or.
Let's see, this is fiercely charred cask, and I get a lot of sweetness for an Ardbeg on this.
This one here is, if I would have really realized how good this one was, this is a committee release, I would have went and bought a backup. But this was one of the ones that I liked when I initially tasted it, so I bought a bottle. I liked it, and I was on the fence, so I set this on the shelf and kind of pushed it back, and it was 6 months or so before I went back to it and went, oh, wow, this is good, blah, 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 blah. And, well, when I got down into the meat of the bottle, now, of course, it's down here, I went, you know what? This is definitely worth at least a second bottle. Yeah, it was gone. It was gone. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Yep. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
It is. It is life. Little Elements 1.0 by Lafroig is the elixir of life. You know, Ken's probably pushing that mower going, God, I'd love some elixir of life right now.
Yeah, Jigs, I agree with that. That could be barbecue or...
You know what I'm saying, Jigs? You got it.
You get the right one. It's bacon, smoked meat.
You did. Well, guess what I got, Ken? Guess what I got? This just arrived. It's the OG Offerman, the first one released. So I have the latest. I have the Caribbean, and I have now the very first Offerman right here, the OG. Boom. Yes, sir. So I don't. It would be nice right now. It is delish, and it is. So Saturday morning.
I got to take a pour. I heard delish. So.
If you want to do some of that Saturday morning, you let me know, because when it comes to having a little morning Lagavulin, you got me right there.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Man,
I'm fine
going
with
from
the
Lefroy to Ardbeg, man.
Oh, man.
It's understandable.
Hey, Carl T, that sounds like a good night right there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And Anthony's in the land of a lot of the second part of that.
Oh, everywhere. That's like that's the national flagpole here, isn't it? I mean, honestly. This is Las Vegas. Come on. But oh Lord, this is so good. I won't say that when 2:30 in the morning comes. When I'm getting up to go to do that W thing.
Yeah.
Work sucks, Anthony. We get it, brother.
Oh my gosh.
I had it, was it last weekend? No, it was Monday or Tuesday. I was on a strain and I had some of that Lefroy, but I had done burgers on the grill, but I put them on the smoker for like a half hour first and then grilled them. So I had like a smoked burger and then I had some Lefroy. And not to be gross, but I woke up the next morning, the first thing I had a burp and I tasted Lefroy. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good day, isn't it?
Absolutely. So when I first got into peat, one of the things I would notice, before I go to bed and, brush my teeth and everything, I got up the next day, I was still going, peat. I don't notice it now, but before
I like having that empty Glen the next morning with Ardbeg and just smelling it. An empty Glen the next morning.
Ardbeg, Lagavulin, Lefroy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't rinse that Glen out before you go to bed.
When I leave here, if I do, yes, I'll take them over to the sink. Yeah. But a lot of times I'm done. I wrap everything up and head out and get the shower going and jump in, and that's that. It really does, Ken. Oh my gosh. It does. The room is filled with it. It's not heavy, but I pick it up. And it's like, oh my gosh, yes, that smoke, that sweet, that smoldering ember just wafting in the air is like, yes. Life is good when you have a peated scotch. Just ask Ken.
Yep, life is better with peat in it.
But this is a.
Who's Pete?
This is a smoked honey delight. There we go.
See, man, you got a bottle of Glen Scotia there, so you should like peat.
Oh fuck, dude! I got the 18. That's delicious, man. And I went to go buy another bottle of it, and I couldn't find it. And I bought it out of a place in California. So hard to eat all of that shit. But yeah, it's delicious. It's really fucking good. Good whiskey. That's why I think JD bourbon approach, every Glenn's go through that fucking dude talks about. It's like, yeah, I'll try that. I'll try that. He don't complain about none of them. They're just that damn good. That whole distillery.
Oh, it is, Richie. I mean, it is. Once you learn the power of peat and accept its place in a scotch, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just smelling this honey on here is, I get hooked on that. I get hooked on the smell of the single malt. I just love that particular smell of the single malt, and I love sitting here nosing it. And this is not, it really isn't what you would think it's Lafroig. But if you take a minute and take it in and contemplate, you might mistake it for Kilchoman on this Elements 1.0.
Okay.
You might, because the peat has that clean note that Kilchoman has.
Yeah, that's where that brininess is kind of tempered.
Yes. And that's
more
what you
clean
made me
smell.
think about, John, when you were talking earlier. And I'm like, when you said it's clean, and I'm like, it's not quite Kilchoman. However, the more you nose it, you could second guess yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You could second guess yourself on it. And they are unique, and they are different in their own way. And that's what, but it's amazing. It's the same distillery. It's the same peat, but it's just this process and what they did with this Elements 1.0, and how the whiskey and the peat and the flavors inside this malt are coming together, that I think it truly could fool somebody who might be a fervent Lafroig hater, until they really take a sip and get that retrohale. I think it would be hard for them to pick this out as a Lafroig. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think so. Oh my gosh. Yes. Go do that W thing, sir. You go do it. Better you than me right now.
I'm good for another hour. I gotta shut it up, boys.
Yeah, it's very unique. It really is unique. You know, that is funny. You should say that, because a lot of people have said that to me, and I just don't pick that note out, Richie. I just don't pick that out on this. And I'm not saying it's not in there. And I always tell people, what you get on your nosing is what you get. It's the memory that you have of that smell that makes it come out. And maybe if I experienced it, or I had someone say, "Do you smell this? Do you smell it?" Yes, that's seaweed. I might make that connection in the brain, but I'm not there. Oh, absolutely. And Richie Sugar Kitty is the one that put that into perspective for me when it came to clean peat. Hold on. Let me find my Kilchoman real quick. So, Where is my Kilhoman? Where is my Kilhoman? I actually haven't seen that in a minute, so I gotta look here. I know it's not there. I know it's not there. Aha! Ah. Ah. Whew. Digging some of this stuff out. The Machir Bay. That one is an amazing whiskey. The peat level on it is the cleanest peat I've had. So this is something that Sugar Kitty had dropped off to me in a sample. And I just couldn't understand the clean peat aspect. So anyway, he dropped me off a sample. And wow. Then I made the connection to what he was trying to describe as clean peat. Made all the difference in the world. And sometimes we need that help to make the connection, to understand what clean peat is. And someone to do that for us. And he had done that for me. And it's like, oh my goodness, that's it. That absolutely is it. And now it's like, oh, absolutely. I probably should have a little bit of this because I haven't touched it in a minute. But the Kilhoman Machir Bay, that is the epitome of clean peat coming in. And it's only 46 ABV. So it's not like it's a killer on the ABV. Yeah. That's for sure. And I think I'll pour some of that just in this glass. I still have some of the other ones. I'll leave that set here. But, ooh, nice cork pop.
Yeah, America right there. Well, maybe Isla, but.
Yeah, let me drop a little bit in here. Just enough to get a taste. There we go. Goodness. Oh, God, I got floor whiskey back. All this stuff I'm drinking. Okay, let me put this here. Put this up here. All right. Let me take a drink of water here.
Is floor whiskey a good thing? Did you hear me?
Oh, you need to.
Yeah,
Carl.
your audio is really dropping, Z-Man.
Is floral whiskey a good thing?
Yeah, usually I just put it away after a couple of days.
All right.
Really? I don't know. Dave, I mean, Oogie's pretty good to me.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Your volume's dropping though, Z-Man.
I can't adjust it, so.
Floor whiskey. So delish. Okay. I actually only had 2 bottles on the floor when I started the stream. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's 5.
I usually pull a few bottles out while I'm on stream, but then the next day I'll just put them all back in the cabinet again.
Am I any better?
You're still ugly.
Really?
But if you're talking about your audio, no.
All right,
But we know you're talking because your lips are moving.
do I sound better this way? Hello? Hello?
No, that's still low.
I think it's you, dude. Turn up your volume.
Oh, I've seen your pictures of the Stare whiskey, Mr. Jig. So totally got it, but I don't have stairs in my house. But I may have to build some just to put my whiskey on.
Turn up your volume, John. What I'm doing is perfect.
So I'm going to take a sip of the Machir Bay. Oh my gosh. The nose on this is fruit, is pear, is heather, like dates, brine, but almost like a fresh baked vanilla cake with the Machir Bay. Oh my gosh. You know you're special, Mr. Jiggs, when you actually get from floor whiskey to stair whiskey to closet whiskey. You're almost there, Mr. Jiggs. You're almost there.
Yeah. Almost there.
Oh, okay. Maybe not 3 closets, Mr. Jiggs, but keep working at it. You'll get there. You'll get there. But yeah, this has a beautiful, beautiful nose on it. This Machir Bay, beautiful. Mm. Mm. Oh, that's so good. Wow. Holy smokes. Wow, that is really nice. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Hey, he ain't wrong.
No, he's not. That's why I'm laughing too. He said it so plain and true. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. That was good. I liked it. Oh, there's no doubt. Oh, we know better. One of these days I'm coming back to Ohio and I'm going to find that closet of yours. Oh, goodness. You know what? That's funny. Glenlivet is good. My favorite everyday 12-year-old scotch is the Glenfiddich 12. I have a bottle open and I got a bottle ready to go on the shelf. I don't know why, but I love that profile. I like the taste, the flavor. And when I just want a nice pour, that's already out in the dining room. And there's glasses there. I just open that up. I do myself a pour and I sit down in my chair. My lazy boy, I recline back, and that is the dram. 8 times out of 10, I go for scotch, and probably at least 3 times out of that 8, it's that Glenfiddich.
Yeah.
So that core range, if you like the profile of the Glenlivet at the 12, you're going to like that 15, that 18, let's say. So I would tell you, if you're thinking about moving up that particular ladder, do it. Do it with that one. It is
When
really
when I
really
first started drinking scotch, I moved up from the 12s. The Glenlivet 15, the French Oak, the Glenfiddich 15 Solera. I loved them both.
Well, and it's nice when you can find a pour that's like that too.
There you go. That's good. He kept the closet, but she took all 3 bedrooms upstairs. There you go. That's putting your foot down. No. All right, wait a minute. My glass says the Glenlivet. I know it's hard to see, but it's on there. The Glenlivet. So, no, there is nothing wrong with it. Without a doubt.
Can you guys hear me?
You're fading more now.
It's probably that WNBA.
I'm still watching it. John, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. You don't have
Barely.
to yell.
I'll keep yelling then.
Well, remember,
All right,
he's
still watching WNBA.
Z-Man. You don't have to yell. You're going to wake the dead. But remember, he's way up north, so I understand. So it'd probably be better if you stick your head out the door and yell.
I can't stand anybody from Illinois.
Oh my gosh. That's all we need now, Mr. Jiggs. You went and you mentioned his name.
You
No one
poked the
else.
bear now.
Look, there he goes. No one mentioned it a third time. He'll be on with his jersey in full pride and gloat mode.
Well, I've been wearing my hat all night, but
Oh, I don't care about that.
Fuck Kansas City.
I don't care about that.
There, I'll help you out.
I'll do it.
there you go.
Yeah. If I'd have known what you were thinking, I might have poured it.
Well, if you want to talk about a really clean peat profile, did you get the PC18 from Eric too? Because Eric sent me both the Brookloud 18 and the Port Charlotte 18.
I think I finished that already. Hold on, that's funny.
Because I just couldn't believe how much that the peat held up on the Port Charlotte 18 for 18 years. It was wonderful. And for a clean peat, I mean, a Port Charlotte 10 for an everyday pour for peated whiskey.
I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure he had sent that. And I think I've already disposed of it properly.
Yeah. I just was surprised how much peat held up for 18 years on that.
Yeah, it happens.
And like I was saying, I mean, Port Charlotte 10, if you like peat for an everyday pour.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Glenfiddich if you're going for a lighter everyday pour. I'd even throw I have a bottle of Deanston 12 too.
Oh, the Deanston? Yeah, I haven't. Yep. I have only had different ones from them, but I don't own a bottle.
I've had the 12. I had a 10 cast strength PX. That was one of the best things I've ever had. Their Virgin Oak is a very good budget bottle. It's an NAS bottle, but it's only like $35.
Have you had the Deanston Zine Man?
Yes.
You have Deanston?
Have I had it? Yes, I've had it in a sample. I liked it.
Yeah. Did you have the 14, the 12, The NES?
It was the 14.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I haven't
and
had
I
a
like
single
it.
that I'm aware of.
I don't see a lot of scotches like that out in the wild. So when somebody offered it up, of course I took it. And I like it.
Yeah, Carl, that Dietz, that Virgin Oak is only like 30 something, low 30s here.
What is the non-age stated worth?
What's up?
What is the NAS worth?
Yeah.
Non-age stated, so there's not an age on it.
What?
There's no age on it. They don't tell you how old it is.
What's it worth? What's the
If you get that Virgin Oak NAS, it's like $35.
Oh, that ain't shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that you didn't. If you're a bourbon drinker, you'd enjoy that bottle.
It's good enough.
I had a pour of the Deanston, the 20-year-old. Oh my, that's the one where Scotch Pour Dummies invented the term burnt toast. Because it was a sherry finished one. Man, was that good.
Scotch what? Dummies?
Scotch for Dummies. They're on usually the same time that Dan used to be on Thursday nights, Scotch Channel.
Oh, well, I'm used to hearing Scotch test dummies.
Yeah, it's Barton Scott, but then this is Scotch, the number 4 Dummies.
All right. Is that a fun channel or no?
Yeah, it's a great channel.
All right. I never heard of it.
Learned a lot from those guys.
Yes, sir. All right.
Carl, what do you mean by that?
Mm. Oh. So the Packers win today or no?
They won
Who did
30 to 14
Who did they play?
at Tennessee.
Okay. Did it look good or
No,
not?
Carl, they said burnt toast is a good thing. It was a sherry cask.
Did it look good or no?
Packers look great. Played with a backup quarterback 2 weeks in a row, and they won both games.
Who's the backup quarterback again? You told me.
Jordan Love, that's out with a knee, but Malik Willis used to be with Tennessee. So he's won the 2 games that he's played.
What's wrong with Love?
He hurt his knee right at the end of the first game against the Eagles. He sprained an MCL, but everything he practiced this week, so hopefully he's back next week.
Yeah, because they're showing Love on all the highlights, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was Malik Willis playing quarterback today.
Right on with it. Mm.
Yeah, David, I think PC10 will always hit the right spot. Now, if we can come out with a peated Miller Lite, you know.
Mm. I figured you'd understand that, John.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. No problem. No problem.
Mm-hmm. I can't see the
Oh
chat.
my gosh.
Let's see. I've had Lafroig and Ardbeg. I'm not sure what I'm going to have for if I'm going to have one more pour or not.
I'm going to finish up with the Elements 1.0 I saved in here, and I'm drinking the I'm drinking the Kilhoman Machir Bay. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get a bottle break and another beer. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
go ahead, get your last pour going there. Crack a beer,
Yes,
take a
sir.
piss, whatever you're going to do.
And I'm out.
Don't drop your phone.
Stop.
Take the empty can, piss in it. It'll be the same thing.
That was an accident.
Is that wrong to
That's
say?
right. If you shake it more than twice, you know what better say. You're playing with it.
No, I figure if you just take the empty beer can and piss in it, it's the same thing. Ooh.
Rich and rare reserve in the.
Where the hell is Rusty tonight?
Where's Rusty?
Mm-hmm.
Probably passed out on somebody
That's
else's.
Rusty's drink of choice is that Rich and Rare Reserve.
To say, he's probably passed out on somebody else's stream. It is, Eric. That's right. But I'm gonna revert back to the 1.0, the Lafroig 1.0, the Elements. Yeah, yours right here. So I'm gonna revert back to that for the last dram of the night. So everybody decide what you're going to have as I finish my Machir Bay.
I have my nightcap. I'm going to finish the trifecta. I've had Lafroig. I've had Ardbeg.
What do you got there? Oh, Lagavulin 9. That is, you know what? That is not a bad pour.
If I could find more of these bottles sitting in a dusty place somewhere.
Well, I wouldn't pay the over $100 they want.
No.
But you can't see it. But where my finger is here, there's another unopened bottle there. And I have one back there.
Okay.
And that's the Game of Thrones edition. So they're out there, but there are a few places here that think they've got frickin' gold, and they're $300 for the bottle.
No way.
Oh, way. I
have to say, I got this bottle for free a few years ago when these came out. I had bought a Klein Leash, and this was back before. I love that one. So my parents asked, like, what bottle do you want? They used to buy us bottles for birthday and Christmas. I said, I want the Lagavulin. And they're like, okay. So they went to the store, mistakenly bought a Klein Leash, and oh, that's the wrong one. So they went back and bought the Lagavulin. And my mom wasn't going to drink it. So then I had they gave me a second bottle of Klein Leash and the Lagavulin.
And you're like, Merry Christmas to me.
Thank you.
Yes.
But I love that Game of Thrones Klein Leash. It's wonderful stuff.
It is. At those prices.
Higher proof, too, for that one.
Yeah.
That one's over 100 proof, yeah.
Well, you know what, Mr. Mom? That may be true. I think he might have an early morning tomorrow. I don't know. But if I said that, he's probably passed out somewhere, 98% of people would go, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty much a guarantee. Like, Z-Man's going to say delish.
Everything's delish, brother. Let me just do
There you go. Pop the top on that too.
That's gonna be delicious.
Don't
Yeah,
just.
I've got one of Z-Man's favorite words here, Lagavulin.
Mm-hmm.
I like scotch. I like the water, the flavor of the water. Some of the islas are really fucking good. But I don't know. If whiskey was fucking $30 a bottle, I'd like more scotches.
What did it go up to?
If it was $30 a bottle, I'd love more scotches. It's just you can't buy shit anymore for more than $60. And it just
Well, you can't buy Lagavulin for $60.
Exactly, and that's the fucking problem I have. Well, why do you drink Buffalo Trace and why are you drinking Benchmark? Because they're fucking $25-$30 a fucking bottle. That's what I do.
Well, there's some $15-$16 scotches on the bottom shelf that I wouldn't touch with a touch.
And I'm not gonna fucking tell anybody that loves the scotch it's garbage. I'm just gonna tell you I don't want to pay for this shit.
No, get the bottom shelf blended scotch for $15. That's some paint thinner right there. Oh.
Exactly. And as I get older,
Clan McGregor and what else is there? Banknote and some other ones down there.
I'm getting closer to retirement. I retired from one job for 24 years, and I'm in another job that I've been there for fucking 10 years, and I'm just fucking done paying my money out for stupid shit.
Oh, Carl, I like Famous Grouse, but have you ever had the smoky grouse, the black one? That one is really good. But I like a peated blend more, though.
Mm. Well, thanks for running the stream, Anthony. Appreciate you, brother. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, we hear you.
Okay.
Shut up the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Give you a
Oh, Carl T, there you go. Smoky Grouse for $24. That's a good deal.
Pay a compliment, Anthony, and that's what I get. Really?
Oh, Naked Grouse. I like that bottle too.
Oh my God, the whiskey fucking tastes really good.
Have a great night, Jakes.
All right, Jakes. We won't.
I'm hoping my coffee will be delish in the morning.
Oh, it's going to be. I know mine will be.
Yeah. I'll be halfway to work.
I know that my coffee will be good. I've got a bag of Tim Hortons dark roast, so that'll be brewing while I'm in the shower in the morning. So.
I've been drinking this Sumatran, and I grind it. Oh my gosh, that's nice coffee. But anyway, well, I've got my last sip for the night. I just want to say to everybody, I really appreciate you. I thank you for staying around, supporting me.
Carl's little comment. I would go nuts if I found Naked Grouse for $16. I love that bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? A lot of people don't know what that is, or know that it's decent whiskey for the money. Yeah.
That's a cheap bottle that actually Z-Man will enjoy.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Z-Man enjoys a lot of bottles, especially at $20. That's perfect.
Especially with a buffalo on it.
That's right. When it comes to that one with the buffalo or the Old Forester. That's it.
Better than this.
That's it. Garbage. He's got that on repeat order.
I got another bottle on the counter, I believe.
But I hope tonight's stream was enjoyable. I'm glad I could fill in for a while for Livewire, and you all join us for just a place to hang out and chat and just, have a pour, or I don't care if you're just having coffee tonight.
It was good to enjoy those little frogs with you, Anthony.
Oh my gosh, it's always good to enjoy a few good pours with people, and hopefully Mike will ask me to do it again for him one day. It's nice to be there for others, and Livewire has always been good to me, and I enjoy helping Livewire out when they're not going to be there to kind of just bleed into their spot, even if I don't fill it completely. But it gives everybody still that's used to having a place to go to just relax for the evening before they turn in for the night and just talk whiskey, just talk whatever. So really appreciate you all. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for hitting that like button. I appreciate you all. Look forward to seeing you all next week. And I can assure you, more than likely, Livewire will be back. So you will be stuck with the same shenanigans you always are. But cheers, everybody. Honestly, look forward to seeing you all again. Have a great evening. Be safe all week. See you later. Cheers.
Cheers.